First was Michael Dunlop, second was Peter Hickman, third was Dean Harrison. They seem to be the main contenders again in 2018. Let's go down to Chris Kinley.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon to everybody out there around the TT Mountain Circuit. Well, we've just seen a cracking sidecar race. What are we going to see now with the Isle of Man TT Senior, the PokerStars Senior TT? It's going to be a cracker race. It really, really is. A lot of people asking me who's going to be the winner. A lot of people got the money on Hickman. A lot of people on Dunlop. Harrison, maybe Hillier. Connor Cummins maybe in there too. It's going to be one of the tight, and I think one of the best seniors in a long, long time, with the three guys all pushing on to get some various speeds. Now, we normally try and speak to some guys we don't get a chance to speak to, but Baz Ferber's here. We'll have a word with Barry if you can, and get a bit of a team advice from Ian, eh? He's Mr. Armstrong there. He'll show you a line or two around here, won't he? Good afternoon, how are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, Ian's got plenty of advice to dispense, and he does pretty freely as well.
Does he really? Any good advice you got from him, joking aside?
Oh yeah, he's full of it. Yeah, he's he's a good man to know, and he's a good man to have in the pit box. Yeah.
Final day at TT, how's it all gone for you?
It's been all right. This is the one we look forward to. Obviously the senior. Yeah, if we can get 6 good laps under us, I think we're in a good position. We've got the bike doing what we want it to do now. Comfortable on it, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be good.
What problems have you had? Because everybody has problems through practice. Just set up, maybe?
To be honest, we look after the bikes. Everything's been working right. It's just, yeah, set up, getting comfortable on the bike, getting the bike to do what I want it to do. But no mechanicals at all. Everything's been fantastic so far. So long may it continue, hopefully.
And perfect conditions, just a little bit of cloud cover now. It's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's comfortable here now. Yeah, it's warm enough, but just right.
Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. And I think we're Facebook live streaming as well with Mark too. That's a bit more intense, guys. So there's Barry Ferber. Nice to have a word with Baz. Nice chap. Now I'm just going to take a little dander down here and find somebody that I need to find, because I like finding people I need to find for a little bit of a story. We all love a story here at the Isle of Man TT races, fueled by Monster Energy. And we're going to keep walking up to the top here. We're nearly up at the gate, by the way. Just going to get past this young lady in a second. Thank you very much. You were very, very kind. Move on just a little bit more. How you doing? Let's see if we can find, possibly around here. Where is he? Up on the road, is he? Is he up on the road? He's going up on the road. Right. I want to go and grab him, because it's been quite a nice little interview to get this. Mark, hopefully you're going to follow me with this, please. Oh, you can't, can you? That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Never mind. Because we like stories, and we like good stories, and we like it in different stories. If I can just squeeze past you there. Thank you very much for that. And we'll go and see if we can find Ian. Where is he? He's disappeared. Can't see him at all. Anybody know where he's gone to, anybody? Can't see him anywhere. Where is he? He's disappeared. He's completely all the way up there. He's all the way there, is he? I'm going to make my way up there. Hopefully this will work, because this will be worth it. Because I'm not going to give too much away. Hopefully this is going to work. Are you all right, you lot? You looking forward to the race? Hope so, anyway. I'm going to make up my way all the way down here, which is just about the traffic lights, Tim. I don't know if you can see me, Tim, can you? Just a little small bloke with a bald head.
See you now.
Yeah. It's hopefully going to work all the way down here, because I want to get this in. This is a story, and we do like good stories. We all do. Are you all right up here, you lot? You okay? Mighty fine. There we go. Now, this could get a little bit emotional, this interview, myself included, because I've known this lad a long time, and I've got to come and find him. We're about the same height, even when we're sat down. And my old mate Ian Pattinson sat here. We're cross legs. We've got legs to cross each other. Hopefully you are getting pictures. Ian, is this right? You're going to retire?
Yeah, this is my last race on the TT circuit. I promised the wife I would ride to age 50 and still be competitive, so this is it. Very mixed emotions sat here today.
Well, your team came and told me this morning, and they said, look, I will find him, we will have a word, because obviously history goes back. Manx Grand Prix winner. Do you know how many laps you've done around here? Have you got them stats in your head, do you know?
We had a quick workout this morning. Some of them are around about 800 laps around here in the 22 years between the Manx Grand Prix and the TT.
What do you think, you lot round here? Is that a good achievement? These guys behind, yeah, pointed the way. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you very much.
Good man, Ian. Cheers. There you go. We'll let him have a few moments there on his own. So, Tim, just hand back to you while I get my breath, because I've got to walk back about 20, 30 yards. So you just take it a minute. That's a nice story, isn't it?
Lovely story, and we wish him well in his final TT. And I don't think I've ever seen Chris Kinley that far up the road there. Thankfully, it all stayed together as well, just to get that lovely recollection. Well, the total practice laps, let's just bring you that. Matt Milcreast, 14 laps. Michael Dunlop's done 13. Davey Todd has done 13. Brian McCormack as well. David Jackson and George Spence. And many thanks again to Mike Hammonds of the TT Supporters Club. And sad to hear as well that the magazine that the TT Supporters Club, the current edition, is going to be the last one. It's no longer affordable, I'm being told, but that is sad. But congratulations on all the work they do, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more stuff on digitally. But the last hard copy of the TT Supporters magazine, which usually comes out quarterly through the year. So in all, in practice, 612 laps have been completed. That is 23,091 miles. Back down to you, Chris Kinley.
Yeah, to that, Tim. It was nice to get over there and grab a word with Ian. And Mark Tiley's just done a lovely piece. John McGuinness just done a second lap. Mark, you just done a nice video with him?
Yeah, we got that onto Facebook Live. He enjoyed it, but you could see in his face, he's just thinking, I wish. But here's to 2019. Let's see if we can get him back for that.
Absolutely. Just see Josh Daly having a little walk up to his start position. Some good notable performances, should I say, in the first run of this race, of course, for where has he gone there now? Number 18, Philip Crow. He finished in 9th place. 27, Sam West. He finished in 11th place. And then we'll just move this way because they are going to open that gate in a minute. I don't want you boys and girls to get run over there. And also Sean Anderson, number 24, he was 13th position. And number 23, Ivan Linton, he got an 8th position. And wasn't it good the other day for number 36, Derek McGee, finishing in 15th in the obviously the RST Superbike race, getting on the podium in the Super Twin race. That bike you can just hear in the background is Ian Locker, and that's the Suter bike. See if we can grab a chat with Ian maybe before the start of this and see how the Suter guys and girls have made for their second visit here to the Isle of Man TT. Just see big Brian McCormack there now, nice and relaxed, ready to go, 6 laps ahead, and just a little bit of high cloud cover once more, but not too bad down here at all. And isn't it nice to hear that two strokes singing there? I'm going to grab a word to Sam West if we can. And Sam, just before it gets a bit too noisy, in fact, we'll go over this way a bit because we'll get shouted at again. You're going to get to your grid position. There you go, Sam. We'll get himself up here. He's starting off at place number 21, just to match his age, 21. How are you, Sam? Yeah, the first Superbike race, brilliant. Come and sit out in the shade a bit, bud. Talk us through that first Superbike race, and what about the senior TT?
Well, it's a big one, isn't it? This is the race of the year. It's what we all wait for. Just want to get out there. Nervous now, but as soon as we get down Bray Hill, hopefully feel all right, get settled into it, get away at the start, see what happens. 2 pit stops, lots for you to think about. There's a lot of pressure on the guys. Well, obviously with the pits, we had a bit of a slow pit stop in the Superbike race. Turns out our fuel filler was one of the slow ones, so just hopefully we don't have that situation today. The guys have done a flawless job, really. We've not had a single mistake in the pits. Obviously last year I was out at the senior with a mistake during the wheel change, had to retire, so we're just hoping for good clean pit stops and a strong first lap. Do you get any boards out there when you come into the end of the second lap to tell you in pit stop, or do you remember? Well, I'm supposed to remember. I don't have a board for it, although I'd always wonder, oh, hang on, how many laps have I done? But then, it's a modern BMW. It's got a range on it. Tells me how many miles of fuel it's got left. So, I know if it says I've got 35, 40 miles of fuel left, I can do another lap. A few of the bikes struggling to get the 2 laps in, or even to get 2 laps. Is it not too tight then for you? It is difficult, We've got a 24-litre cap on the fuel tank capacity. That was fine 5-10 years ago when everyone had 170 horsepower bikes, but my BM there's pushing out about 210, 215 horsepower. They drink a lot more fuel than they used to. It does make you wonder if they're going to have to up that capacity limit. We're all right on the fuel. We've got the full Lambda data log and we work close to a BMW getting it set up, right? So we think we will make 2 laps, no problem, we hope. And you did your fastest lap ever this year as well? I did, yeah. I've done 29 ones in the Superbike race, and then I did it from a standing start in the senior practice as well. So hopefully I can do that again from the first lap today. Get away. Good luck, Sam. Cheers, Chris. Sam West, thank you very much. Good luck to the team. And we'll go down a little bit. Let's have a little look. You see Brian McCormack coming out. Everything all right with Brian? Maybe grab a quick word if we can. Brian, okay? Yeah, all good. Looking forward to this. You're looking wee bit nervous, sir. You're normally quite chilled and relaxed. Yeah, I just think we have a bit of potential here. So I'm kind of just eager to get going now and just do what I was doing all week long. Just the brain's not telling me at the moment that I can do it, you know what I mean? So just relax into it, and once I get away and get half a lap in, I'll be happy. What's the aim?
If we can get near the top 10, I'd be very happy. That's what we were close to on the first Superbike race until we had a breakdown. So if we can get there, if I go forward and I progress a little bit more, I'd be very happy. And we all come back and have a beer afterwards. That's the main goal.
Good man.
Thanks very
Cheers,
much.
Brian. Thank you very much, Brian McCormack there. Nice to speak to him. And Jamie Coward in the Superbike race was in 12th position the other day. Jamie, in the Superbike, you're liking this Superbike, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going all right, to be honest. Still got a few handling issues that we haven't managed to sort out, but I feel comfortable on it. So just, to be honest, I just want to get it finished. You know, it's just been a bit of a disastrous week. You know, so it'd be nice just to come home and finish the 6 laps and just get it finished. To be honest.
Are you doing Ballown tomorrow? I know you like it down there.
Yeah, I'm going to be down there tomorrow, just on the 600. So just a nice steady run down there, but get this one out of the way first and try and get it finished more than anything. Just go out there and have 6 laps and just have a bit of fun, you know, and just see what happens.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And his teammate Derek Shields next to him. Derek, how's things?
Yeah, all right, looking forward to getting going here. You know, thank God it's a little bit cooler today and a bit overcast. It would have been hard work yesterday.
14th in the Superbike race. Improving on that, obviously gone quicker than you've ever gone before.
No, it didn't go quicker. We had a bit of a handling issue on the Superbike race now. We're just hoping it's resolved here. We've done a bit of guesswork going in with suspension settings and stuff, so we're just gonna, again, take it as it comes and get stuck in if we can.
So you haven't upped your personal best lap yet, though?
No, last year there I think we were 128.8. We're just shy of 128 this year, so we'll see how it goes. We need a bit more luck on our side.
Good luck, Derek.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, Derek Shields and all the bikes, as you can hear now, coming up onto the road. Are you all right, John? Okay, if anybody could do a pit board for Davey Todd, for newcomer Davey Todd, that'd be nice. Number 80, a pit boy, Hall or something like that. Just going by the Norton, the sound of that. Josh Brooks is here. Let's maybe grab a bit of Josh if we can. Just squeeze around of Stuart and the team. Sorry, Stuart, just to jump in. Josh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right?
Yeah. I was just saying to Stuart, it has to be. We've done everything we can do now. It's just, you know, we put all our best feet forward and, you know, we've done everything we can do with the bike and my preparation, lap times, and, you know, the 2 weeks of perfect weather. You know, now it's just up to me to go and ride the best race I can and, yeah, hopefully do everyone proud.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh and the Norton guys. Tar for that. Peter Hickman here. Just get past the technicians. Hi, Granty. How are you, Mick? Let's get over here just to Peter if we can. And Peter, good afternoon to you as well. What a race this could be.
Yeah, we're about to find out, aren't we? Another 10 or 15 minutes and we'll have some sort of an idea where everyone is. You know, I'm just looking forward to it. I need to obviously get my head down early. Fingers crossed, turn left at Braddon Bridge rather than go straight on. And see where we end up. You know, I'm under no illusions. Michael and Dean are fast as, and you know, I'm always weak on that first bit. We always know that, so I'm not going to be surprised if I'm third or fourth or so at the start, but we'll see. You know, it's a long old race here, and they've got kind of a little bit of a leg up, or at least Michael has. He did all 6 laps on Saturday, whereas I only did half a lap really before I had to pull in, so we'll just have to wait and see. The bike feels good. The Wednesday night we tried a new tyre, as most of the Dunlop riders did, and it felt really good. Not much of a difference for me, but you know, it still didn't feel bad. There was no negative, so we're going to run it and see what happens.
How did it feel on the stage getting the Superstock trophy then? The other night?
I was so happy. You know, it's you know, we've won a TT race. It's pretty awesome, and it was, you know, not in the easiest way, and you know, nobody else kind of broke down, or, you know, there was no, I wasn't gifted it in any way whatsoever. So and that makes it all the more sweeter.
Can you transfer anything from the Superstock over to this, or chalk and cheese?
Do you know what, the Superbike's been working really well anyway. I'm really happy with it. So to be honest, I've got no real need to kind of change it or try. You know, a lot of people say, oh, why don't you ride the Superstock bike? Well, the Superbike will be faster if everything's correct and we get it right. And to be honest, it feels really good. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Cheers. There's Peter Hickman. Let's move down just a little bit if we can. And then we'll do David Johnson before he puts his lid on. And David, what a week you're having, buddy.
So far, so good. One more to go, and I'm going to put everything into it.
Talk us through the Gulf BMW. She's performed well. I mean, has she performed to your expectations?
Yeah, it's a new team, and we've done very little. So we're doing really good. I mean, we can't ask for much more, and hopefully I'll give them more in this one. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm well up for it.
1:30 and a bit, I think, in the Superbike race, whenever that was, last Saturday.
Yeah, and ideal was 1:30 and a half. I got traffic on that last lap, but there's loads of Aussies out there and cheering me on. Hopefully we'll get up there, and a big shout out to the guys at Rancullen.
Good luck, Davo.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you very much. And moving a little bit forward if we can. Gary Johnson's there. Gary's just talking to the team there. Michael Dunlop not here as of yet. Let's get round the back and maybe to Dean Harrison. His brother Nathan's just come up just to have a bit of a word. And there's a good picture you got there. The two brothers having a chat before the race. Let's keep bringing the juice up. Just grabbing if we can in a minute. A few brotherly words are more important than me.
Do you want any one of them sachets left?
Okay. It's talking about energy drinks and stuff. Dean, welcome to the senior TT.
Again. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Are you all right?
Brilliant. It's not me, it's you. Let's talk about you. How you feeling before the start of this? Look at the people around here. This is the busiest I've seen for years.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a popular day. No, I'm feeling, I don't know, is apprehensive the word. I'm not the sharpest tool in the toolbox when it comes to big words, but I don't know. I feel fine. I feel all right. I'm all right.
Same plan as the first Superbike race. Go for it from the word go. Try and get a good gap again.
It's all you can do in it. I just got to go set off as fast as I can and go as fast as I can. Then what will be, will be.
Michael's right behind you. You're the target for him to aim at.
Yeah, it's always nice to have someone to aim for it. But no, I'll try my best so you can't catch me, and I'll see what happens.
Good luck, Dean. Any changes made from the practice lap the other night? No happy?
Yeah, no happy. Yeah, no, we had a few issues to be honest. There's a few, we are going into this race with a bit of an unknown, but I'm not too worried. I'll just get the head down from the start and see what it's like.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Dean and the team. And we'll get round the back. We're about 6 minutes away from the start of the race. Don't have Hutchie here yet. James Hillier is on the bike. Try and get him before we go. That'd be quite nice. And just get the nod from Phil. Make sure it's all right and all okay. Oh, that's good then. Hello, young man. Can I just say, your attempts at wheelies around the paddock, and Phil as well, it's not been the best. I mean, the young fella's been showing you up on that little paddock bike.
You come round after the race, I'll show you a wheelie, Chris.
I'll just flip it and I'll just hurt myself and crash into your truck. And quite impressive, actually.
Well, there's not much else to do. Just, you'd think we'd be sick of riding motorbikes, but it's nice to have a mess about and take your mind off things.
It is, and you get away from the paddock as well with the family's a nice thing to do, because you can get just sucked into being at the truck all the time, can't you?
Yeah. You go a bit crazy. So it's important to have time out and time away doing different things and take your mind off this game a little bit, but obviously not too much because we've got a big job to do, and you don't want to lose focus too much.
What about today's race then? Senior TT, 6 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be. Used to be more of an endurance race, but I think today is we're looking more at a 6-lap sprint race. It's going to be tough. The weather's a little bit better for us. It's not bright, but the temperature's down, so I don't know. Just do first lap as hard as I can and see where we sit in and take it from there. That's all I can do.
Good luck, James.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to James. And back just quickly to number 3, to Michael Rutter. Michael, 1 or 2 engine problems throughout the week. Hopefully all sorted now?
Yeah, we've hopefully got engine together, so we did a lap on it, felt good, so we had to have a bit of a go in this one, but going to be a hot pace as usual in it, and see what happens from there.
Obviously the week's been a tough one. Obviously getting the win on the Mugen's great, and that lap absolutely fantastic. And you got a great reception at the presentation too, didn't you?
Yeah, it's been a good week. We've had a 6th, a 5th, I think, a 3rd and a 1st, so that's brilliant. Trying to get that top 6 is always an achievement anyway, and getting on that podium's even better. So just keep trying to do it on the Batham's bike, and hopefully get around for 6 laps. It's a long way. We were speaking about it this morning. I think there'll be a few retirements. Just got to keep going. You never know what can happen.
Good luck, Michael. Thank you, guys. Cheers. Good luck. And we'll just quickly jump down. There's John Holden and Lee Kane, and past that chap with the camera. Doink. There we go. My size 8 feet clattering into there, and Connor just about to put the little earplugs in. Are they custom made, Connor?
Yeah.
They're a good idea, aren't they?
Yeah, fancy earplugs. Yeah. Yes.
Feeling?
Yeah, real good. Just gonna get my head down and go for it.
3rd, 4th, 5th lap in the first Superbike race, and the 6th lap you're really pushing on with the other boys.
Yeah, I just need to do that from the off, really, so I'll have a go.
Good luck, Connor. Cheers. I'll let you continue to get ready and get all your gear and bits and bobs on. 4 minutes away, Tim. Absolutely perfect conditions with one of the biggest crowds up on there. Hopefully that sets the scene for you. Good conditions and visibility all around the course. Six laps, and it's the PokerStars Senior TT. Just having a little look up. I know we're a little bit early just yet with 4 minutes. Sorry, Wal, I didn't mean to do that to you, mate. Just seeing if how late is he going to leave it to come in this time, just to give you a bit of an idea. He always leaves it really late coming to the line, does Michael Dunlop. I know Hutchie's just here now, just sat on the bike, just talking to Jules and the guys, just getting the last minutes of information, and he's just taking about a big glug of water. And I don't think Michael is still not here. Gary Johnson is here as well on that number 7 bike. Gary finished the other day, did he too? So good luck to Gary. 1 lap, Gary, is that what he's doing? I think it is anyway. Yeah, he's having some good banter with Gary this week. He's in good form again, which is good to see, especially after what he did at the Northwest 200. As we look.
Can I ask a question,
ahead,
Chris?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where does Michael Dunlop hide until he comes to the line very late?
Your guess is as good as mine.
There's an enormous ruck of people to get through if he's still down in Park Ferme.
Yeah, and I think he just comes up pretty much late. Just see Philip McCallan there, of course, TT winner, and always taking photographs and putting it on social media. And well, they didn't do that sort of thing in his day. They're just up here on the line. Obviously, in those sort of days, there was a lot of people here, but not as many people around here, you know, around all the teams. Just see John Holden there, the big smile, shakes hands with Hector Neal and speaks to the Tyco BMW team. I think that's about 3 minutes to go it is. Yeah, Michael's still not up here. Just to give you the timeline and where he is arriving, that's what I just want to do, just to hold it here. And that little bit of breeze that it is just blowing down Glen Crutchery Road from Governor's Bridge down towards the start line. So just a little bit of breeze just picking up, just making it just that little bit cooler for these riders, because so hot down here. They've got all the leathers on, the chest protectors, the back protectors. Obviously some of them wear these skin tight things now to keep the heat in them as well, to keep the body temperature up. But John Holden's got one of those on as well, and they are pretty good. I usually want to go out and do a bit of cycling just to get that body warmth in, and they are very, very good. But he's still not here. We're about 2 minutes to go before the start. He will be here, don't get me wrong. And I'm just looking to see exactly where he does come from, whether he comes from the right hand side, your end at the grandstand, or even the left hand side to the Park Ferme area. I know there's a lot of people, and this kind of started a couple of years ago, didn't it, if I remember rightly, with the riders coming in there. I think Ian Hutchinson might have started it a few years ago. Somebody did anyway. And for the guys just to be coming here up, obviously wants to stay in the zone, and obviously don't want to do any TV interviews or radio interviews before the start of the race. I think this is what he kind of do, so he doesn't get distracted from his focus. Some guys like to do it, some guys don't like to do it before the start of the race. His helmet is here, which is good, but he isn't here as of yet. He's just going to appear, maybe parachute out of that helicopter or something like that, Tim. I don't know, but he's still not here with 2 minutes to go. He's going to have to hurry up, Tim. I'll hand it to you for the start of the race, and I'll keep an eye out where he comes from, just to give you that background. Tim, build it up. It's a PokerStars Senior TT.
It is indeed. Doesn't need building up, really, does it? PokerStars Senior TT. Dean Harrison in the all sessions qualifying quickest at 133.462. Michael Dunlop 132.983, and Peter Hickman at 132.8. Connor Cummins 131.1175, and James Hillier at 130.644 as we come up to 1 minute to go until the start. And we really do not want Michael Dunlop to actually miss the start of a race by doing this, and he's still not there, but he has got a little bit more time, because it's 50 seconds after Connor Cummins has gone that Michael Dunlop will set off. But it is Connor Cummins who's there. He's come through out of the throng of people that are on Glen Crutchery Road, a sea of colour. He's come now to underneath that Monster Energy arch. He's staring down with half a minute to go to the start of the PokerStars Senior TT. He's staring down Glen Crutchery Road, looking at St Ninians, and Michael Dunlop is there now. So he's come out of nowhere and is now astride that Tyco BMW. 10 seconds to the start. The hand goes on the shoulder. We're looking at the little Manx flag to drop, and then that tap on the shoulder for Connor Cummins. He's away on the Padgett'sMotorcycles.com Honda. Now James Hillier on the Quattro Plant Kawasaki over towards the scoreboards. Batham's BMW of Michael Rutter is next. Honda Racing's Ian Hutchinson, flag drops. The absolute lap record holder, Silicone Engineering Kawasaki of Dean Harrison's away. And now. Tyco BMW's Michael Dunlop. Gary Johnson on the RAF regular and reserves Kawasaki. Dragging the feet back, trying to keep the front wheel down and stabilise the bike as soon as possible. No one at 8, so next away, and he's performed brilliantly at the TT so far. On the Golf BMW is David Johnson. Now the Smiths Racing BMW with Peter Hickman, now a TT winner. Josh Brooks on the Norton. Beautiful sound. Riders Motorcycles BMW Martin Jessup now. And the second Honda rider, number 13, Lee Johnston. No one at 14, so next is number 15, the first of the two Pens 13.com BMWs. Number 15, Derek Shields. He's away. Flicks the visor down. 16 next, teammate Jamie Coward, second of the Pens BMWs. Gearbox there, as you can hear, as they head down towards St Ninians, and that plunge off the face of earth, as it's sometimes described as, down Bray Hill. So 27. Sam West away, and this should be Davey Todd, number 80. No, it's Philip Crow we've missed, my fault. Philip Crow, number 18. Now we have the gap of 19 and 20, and it should be 27. Sam West, who's next on the PRL BMW. Just listening to Jamie Coward go away. Skipped, missed Phil, but here's Sam West. And next will be number 80, Davey Todd on the Burroughs Engineering Racing Suzuki. What a week he's had. In fact, Sam West too. 24, Sean Anderson on the Suzuki next. Right over to the boards at first, and then down the middle of Glen Crutchrew Road. 32, Van Fleet Transport BMW of Brian McCormack. 23 is Ivan Linton on the Dafabet Devitt Racing Kawasaki. 36, Derek McGee is next to leave us here. But no time to take any more away. Let's go out to Glen Helen and Dave Christian.
Yes, thanks, Tim. You're right on the money. First man on the road into the sector. It's Connor. Big knee out onto the tower, and he passes through without any fuss or problem at all. But he's being caught. James Hillier is visibly catching him on the road. Nice tight line on the exit from Hillier as well, and Hillier taking 2 seconds out of Connor Cummins from the grandstand to here at Glen Helen. The third machine is now into the corner. That's Michael Rutter again, a big knee out from Rutter. Holds it tight on the exit, gets the power on early, but Rutter just a little bit slower than Cummins, so it's Hillier at the moment. Here's number 5 though. Dean Harrison has caught and passed Ian Hutchinson on the run in from the grandstand, and Harrison goes to the top of the pile. Here's Hutchie now, and he's being caught by Michael Dunlop. Michael Dunlop closed right in on Ian Hutchinson on the road, and well ahead on corrected time. So at the moment it's Harrison leads Dunlop by 2 seconds at Glen Helen on lap 1, but of course we do need Peter Hickman first, as Gary Johnson comes through, just drops into 5th position there. Gary Johnson just behind Connor Cummins. But at the moment, it's Harrison from Dunlop by 2 seconds. Next man on the road should be, there's a little bit of a gap here, nobody at 8. Davo Johnson. And he's through as well. And Dave Johnson just displaces Cummins, but Hickman's up with him on the road. Hickman goes into second, so it's really, really tight at Glen Helen this opening lap. Harrison, number 5, leads number 10, Peter Hickman, by 1 second. Number 6, Michael Dunlop in third place. He's a second down on Hickman. Josh Brooks through on the Norton. And Josh Brooks just outside the top 5 so far. So it's Harrison leads Hickman, Dunlop third, James Hillier in fourth, 2.5 seconds back on Dunlop. Martin Jessup swings through. Jessup just into 10th place at the moment, but we may have a little bit of movement on that yet. As Lee Johnston swings in, he just drops in behind Martin Jessup. So Jessup 10th, Johnston 11th, and Hutchie down into 12th of the 12 that have come through. But it is Dean Harrison who's got the hammer down right from the start. Harrison off to a flyer, and he's managed to take a second, 1.2 seconds from Peter Hickman on the opening 9 miles from the grandstand out here to Glen Helen. That's 15 through Derek Shields, just outside the top 10 for Derek, but he's been caught on the road by Phil Crow. 16, Jamie Coward. Apologies, 16, not 18. It was number 16, Jamie Coward, who has taken a little bit of time off Derek Shields, about 5 seconds. Jamie Coward goes to 12th on Glen Helen on the opening lap of this Poker Stars Senior TT. Next man swings in, flick to the right, down a gear, into the left-hander, that is Phil Crow. And Crow just goes in between Jamie Coward and Derek Shields. Number 18, Phil Crow, 13th quickest to Glen Helen on the opening lap. So it's Harrison leads Hickman. Connor Cummins, first man on the road, is now at Ballaugh Bridge. The Ramsey Massive will all be standing by somewhere around Parliament Square area, ready for the big cheer as their homeboy comes through. 27 through Sam West. Great start from Sam West. Pushes his way into the top 10. Number 27, Sam West, into 9th place on the opening lap. And 80, Davey Todd, the newcomer. 12th place for Davey Todd. Dean Harrison and Michael Rutter now both through Ballaugh Bridge. We are awaiting the arrival of Michael Dunlop. Shouldn't be far away. 24 comes through here at Glen Helen. 24 is Sean Anderson. 15th quickest for Sean Anderson. As Harrison, Cummins and Rutter still the only ones through at Ballaugh Bridge. Then Michael Dunlop does come through. Michael Dunlop, obviously he's had some sort of a problem there. He's dropped behind Connor Cummins on corrected time. So Michael Dunlop with some sort of issue between Glen Helen and Ballaugh. As Gary Johnson goes through at Ballaugh as well. Andy and Hutchinson. And Dunlop dropped a lot of time there between Glen Helen and Ballaugh, so there's an issue there for Michael. Connor Cummins currently holding 2nd place, awaiting Peter Hickman and James Hillier. Not made it there so far. It is Michael Dunlop 3rd. Peter Hickman now goes into 2nd place. So Dean Harrison at Ballaugh leads number 10, Peter Hickman, by 5 seconds. Connor Cummins, number 1, up to 3rd place. He's 5 down on Hickman. In 4th place, number 6, Michael Dunlop. He's just a third of a second down on Cummins. In 5th place, number 9, Davo Johnson. He's half a second down on Dunlop. In 6th place, number 7, Gary Johnson. 3 seconds down on Dave Johnson. In 7th, this is at Ballaugh Bridge now, Josh Brooks through on the north, number 11. He is 3 seconds down on Gary Johnson. In 8th place, number 12, Martin Jessup, 2 seconds down on Brooks. In 9th place, number 3, Michael Rutter. He's a second down on Jessup. And Ian Hutchinson making the top 10 of the 10 through Ballaugh. Number 40, Mark Parrott comes through here at Glen Helen. 24th quickest to Glen Helen. He's followed quickly on the road by Stefano Benetti. And Stefano Benetti, the last man through here. Also through, we've had Dom Herbertson, James Cowton, Dan Cooper, Rob Hodson and Derek McGee. Rob Hodson, just the last man through there at Glen Helen on the opening lap here. And number 36, Derek McGee, 27th place for him. 51 comes through, Mike Booth. A great qualifier for Booth, but not affected the top end of the leaderboard. And it is at Ballaugh Bridge. Dean Harrison leads Peter Hickman by 5 seconds. Connor Cummins 3rd, 5 back at Hickman. And we'll go straight to Roy Moore at Ramsey Hairpin.
Yep, absolutely perfect timing, I would think, Dave. We're just interesting on the boards from Ballaugh Bridge there to see what happens, but I can tell you bikes are in the Ramsey area. The senior TT of 2018 is go, and certainly it brings back all those nerve ends, all the tingling of excitement and all that as to what's going to happen, what to expect. But the race leader, Dean Harrison, at Ballaugh Bridge by 4 seconds, but Conor Cummins through his hometown of Ramsey and safely round Ramsey hairpin and heading up towards the mountain now, up towards the waterworks. No other machines into view, so I would imagine he's probably holding that 10-second advantage on the road as the time ticks by, and that is the case. Conor well ahead on the road, but Dean Harrison should be the next machine into view. Number 5, Dean Harrison out of Stella Maris. He sweeps and down through the box towards us here at Ramsey. Tucked right in, tight to the inside and wide. He just uses the wheels virtually as Michael Rutter is here. And it's Dean Harrison, but we're waiting for the arrival there of Peter Hickman here at Ramsey. It was 4 seconds that Dean Harrison had the advantage at Ballaugh Bridge on lap number 1. But Michael Dunlop is here now, but he's 10 seconds down on Dean Harrison as the back end just steps out a little bit. Tight to the inside. Bit of the back end stepping away again too on the exit, but he got that power down on that Tyco BMW and well through, but 10 seconds down, nearly 11, 10.8 is the difference. Machine into view, that's number 7, Gary Johnson. And he's through, and there's number 4. That is Ian Hutchinson through, but Peter Hickman is through the timing beam at the bottom. Let's just get the advantage. He got somebody in his front of him now. He just puts the flag out to tell him to go up the inside, and Peter Hickman does, and Dave Johnson is the rider who let him go through, and it's Peter Hickman 2.5 seconds, 2.3 to be exact, who is down on the race leader, number 5, Dean Harrison. Second, Peter Hickman, those 2.3 seconds down. Michael Dunlop now 8 seconds behind Peter Hickman, and in 4th place, number 1, Conor Cummins, the second down on Michael Dunlop. David Johnston, he is only 0.2 down on, there's another very fast machine, that's the works note of Josh Brooks through. David Johnson in 5th, he's only 0.2 of a second down on Conor Cummins. In 6th, number 7, Gary Johnson, 6 seconds down on David Johnson. And then in 11th, in 7th place, number 11, Josh Brooks, 2.5 seconds down on Gary Johnson. 8th place for number 3, Michael Rutter, 5.5 seconds down on Josh Brooks. 9th for number 12, Martin Jessup, he's safely through Ramsey. He's 0.1 of a second down as Lee Johnson goes through there now, and he occupies 10th place at the moment. 3 seconds down though on Martin Jessup. That brings Lee Johnston into 10th place, confirmed. 3.2 seconds down on Martin Jessup. Within 11th place, number 4, Ian Hutchinson. 21 seconds down though on Lee Johnson. But at the front, it's Dean Harrison, but by the slimmest of margins over Peter Hickman. 2.3 seconds. That's all the difference there is. Derek Shields and Jamie Coward should be approaching Ramsey now. Who's first into Ramsey? It's Jamie Coward, number 16. He's safely through. 11th place for him. And there is number 15, Derek Shields. So they're through. And 12th place for him. The difference between Derek Shields and Jamie Coward, 15 seconds. And Jamie Coward holding on to that 11th place. But he's only 3 seconds down there on Lee Johnston. Next machine should be somebody moving up the order, is it? Down through, and then it's number 18, it's Philip Crow. So Philip Crow goes through to 13th place, 5 seconds down on Jamie Coward, but 9 seconds ahead of in 14th place, number 15, Derek Shields. This is quick, has to get it sorted out. It's 27. Well, Sam West moves up to 8th place here at Ramsey, half a second down on Josh Brooks, but 5 seconds ahead off in 9th place, Michael Rutter, for look out for that, number 27. Sam West takes us by surprise. They're through the bungalow. Well, Dean Harrison is through the bungalow, Conor Cummins is through the bungalow, and Michael Rutter is through the bungalow. Michael Dunlop just gone through, 11 seconds down on Dean Harrison, but Peter Hickman is the man we will be looking for there to see if we can get a time difference from the bungalow. Another machine gone through Ramsey, that was Brian McCormick, safely through Ramsey. And just looking for that timing there, it's 11.7. The difference between Dean Harrison and Michael Dunlop. One machine do. There it is there, Michael Rutter. Now, I don't think we've got time to get them through the bungalow, but certainly Dean Harrison, Michael Dunlop, Conor Cummins, Gary Johnson and Michael Rutter. Peter Hickman, 1.5 seconds. Dean Harrison leads Peter Hickman at the bungalow. Lap 1, back to the grandstand.
IOM TT Travel is an official travel partner of the TT races. As a member of the Travel Trust Association, all bookings with IOM TT Travel are covered by a 100% financial protection guarantee. Whether you're travelling to the TT or Classic TT, make sure you speak to the specialists at IOM TT Travel for an unforgettable trip and great customer service. Log on to iomtt.com or visit the travel shop at the rear of the main grandstand now.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
Cronknamona light on for number 1, Connor Cummins. Number 2, James Hillier, retired at Westwood in the Kirkmichael area. Number 23, Ivan Linton, retired at Ballacrane. Interesting to note that Michael Dunlop dropped roughly 6 seconds between Glen Helen and Ballaugh Bridge for some reason. We'll obviously maybe find out at the end as to exactly what happened there, but it was quite a significant chunk of time which he hasn't managed to recover. It is Dean Harrison now, the light on for number 5, Dean Harrison at Cronknamona, and it's Peter Hickman who's only 1.5 seconds down at the bungalow as we wait for Connor Cummins on the Paget's Honda to come into view. It'll be out of the dip there at Governor's, coming past the Police HQ Dukes Avenue entrance, and here he is, cross the line now. And 131.75 for Connor Cummins. Light on also for number 6 and 3 at Cronknamona, as we await now for probably it'll be Dean Harrison, I would imagine, just looking at the way the times are jumbled up. 172 miles per hour for Cummins. Here's Harrison. And 133.678 miles per hour to open up. Sub 17, 16 minutes, 56.084 miles per hour, and 178 miles per hour across there. And next interview is Rutter. And Rutter is through. There is Michael Dunlop, 131.8, but he's 14.3 seconds down on Harrison. We've still got Hickman to come, and we'll just go back to Cronknamona. The gap was 1.5 seconds that Harrison had over number 10, Hickman. So 131.810 for Michael Dunlop at 172 miles per hour. And there is Hickman. There's also Gary Johnson, and Hickman is just 1.4 down on Harrison, 133.492 miles per hour. So Harrison and Hickman, and I think there's a klaxon sounding down there and somebody coming in. And that is David Johnson, I think, on the Gold BMW. Down to Chris.
Yeah, it is. He's just waved his arms and discussed something's obviously not right with the bike. So those great performances he's had all throughout this week, well, it's not happening. I think they're going to refuel the bike and rechange the rear tyre, maybe making a couple of adjustments to it, but I'm not sure if he's going to continue on as Josh Brooks goes over the line. Tim.
Yeah, and Josh Brooks at 130.191 miles per hour. He slots into 6th place. David Johnson, even slowing down to come into the pits, was in 5th position, 130.299, and he looks disconsolate down there, just resting against the wall, his head down, and obviously not happy with the way the Gold BMW is performing, but it's been a great TT for number 9, David Johnson. More across the line to tell you about Lee Johnston at 128.35. Number 12, Martin Jessup, 128.32. And Ian Hutchinson, 124.05. So the leaderboard then, Dean Harrison, number 5 on the Kawasaki, 133.678 miles per hour from a standing start, has a 1.4 second advantage over number 10, Peter Hickman, who in turn has a 12.98, nearly 13-second advantage over number 6, Michael Dunlop. Dunlop is just 0.4 ahead of in 4th place, number 1, Connor Cummins, putting in a great ride. And 5th will now be at number 11, Josh Brooks, with that retirement, it would appear, for David Johnson. I think he has made a sharp exit now, just the bike being looked at, so it looks like a full confirmed retirement, unfortunately, for David Johnson. Martin Jessup, Jamie Coward is up into 11th, Philip Crow, in fact 27th, Sam West is up into 8th position. That is including David Johnson, but 8th at the end of lap 1. Gary Johnson, number 7, in 7th, but Sam West is in 8th place. Michael Rutter in 9th, as Davy Todd goes across the line at 128.38 miles per hour, and Davy Todd is in 10th position. What a performance. It's Harrison that leads from Hickman. Let's go to Glen Helen.
Here's the big man through. Connor through on his second lap. Little twitch on the exit, but he's safely through, and he's not too far away from the podium at the moment. With whatever that issue Michael Dunlop had, pushed them back down. The gap between Dunlop and Cummins at the end of lap 1 was less than half a second, so there's not much in that at all. As Dean Harrison comes through, second man on the road, your race leader at the end of the lap. Dino safely through here. The gap between Dean and Connor Cummins, 18 seconds, and at the grandstand it was about 14 and a half, 15 seconds. So Dean Harrison still going for it on lap 2. He's built a lead, and he's looking to consolidate that now. Driver's advantage home as Michael Dunlop comes through on his second lap. No problems with Michael. Michael Rutter just behind him. So Dunlop and Rutter both through here. And the lead is currently Dean Harrison, number 5, leads number 1, Connor Cummins, by 18 seconds. And Michael Dunlop, number 6, in 3rd place, half a second down. But we need Peter Hickman through before we can confirm that top 10. There is Peter Hickman now. He does drop into 2nd place. So Dean Harrison leads Peter Hickman by 3.5 seconds. As Gary Johnson comes through on his second lap. Dean Harrison leads Peter Hickman, that's number 5, leads number 10 by 3.5 seconds here at Glen Helen. In 3rd place, number 1, Connor Cummins. He is 15 seconds down on Peter Hickman. And in 4th place at the moment, number 6, Michael Dunlop, who is half a second down on Cummins. That's a 1 second swing from the grandstand, so Connor's pulled a second out on Michael in the 9 and a bit miles. In 5th place, Gary Johnson at the moment, but I do think we need to see Josh Brooks. Hutchie comes through. Here's Josh Brooks now. Josh Brooks does indeed take that 5th place. That's Davo Johnson's pulled out, so Josh Brooks goes into 5th place, number 11. He is 16 seconds down on 4th place, Michael Dunlop. In 6th place, Gary Johnson, number 7. He's 6 seconds down on Josh Brooks. And we can't go any higher than that. We need number 27, Sam West, because he was in 7th place at the grandstand. Martin Jessup comes through. Jessup safely completes his second lap here at Glen Helen. But your race leader is number 5, Dean Harrison, the 3.5 second advantage over number 10, Peter Hickman. Here's Lee Johnston. The general in 9th place at the moment, but again, Sam West and possibly even Davy Todd may just go a little bit in front of him. The gap was very, very tight at the grandstand, and we await the arrival of, I think, next man on the road should be number 16, Jamie Coward, and just behind him we got Derek Shields, Phil Crow, and number 27, Sam West, if we've got enough time for it. Sam West, Kraken Ride, started 21st on bike number 27, up to 9th place at Balath and on lap 1. And that is Jamie Coward, safely through on his second lap. So Sam West, 8th place at the grandstand, likely to take 7th here because Dave Johnson pulled out after crossing the timing beam at the end of the lap. Davy Todd, the newcomer on number 80, he started 22nd. He was up to 12th at Balath Bridge on lap 1. And be interested to see how far up he has gone. Phil Crow through. There's Sam West. And Sam West takes 6th place. So it's 6th place for Sam West. So Josh Brooks was holding 5th place. That's number 11 in 5th place. In 6th, number 27. He's 4 seconds down on Josh Brooks. In 7th place, Gary Johnson. He's 2 seconds down on Sam West. In 8th place, number 3, Michael Rutter. He's 13 seconds down on Johnson. There is Davy Todd, the newcomer, and Davy Todd takes 8th place. Davy Todd nips in front of Michael Rutter. But your leader at Glen Helen on lap 2 is Dean Harrison. He leads number 10, Peter Hickman, by 3.5 seconds, with the big man from Ramsey, Connor Cummins, in third, 14 seconds back on Peter Hickman. Back to you at the grandstand.
There's only one place to be in June, the Isle of Man TT races. If you're enjoying TT 2018, do it all again in 2019 with IOM TT Travel. Sailings are available to book now, and there's a huge choice of campsites, glamping options and hotels. Our expert travel advisors will be happy to help you plan the perfect TT 2019. See iomtt.com for more details, or even better, call into the travel shop at the rear of the grandstand and book today.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
Number 15, Derek Shields, retired at Ballacrane. 25 and 36, James Cowton and Derek McGee have retired at the grandstand. And I can tell you number 76, David Madston Migdal, is reported as making adjustments at Lamfell Moor. At Ballaugh Bridge, it's 5.5, the lead for Dean Harrison over number 10, Peter Hickman. Glen Helen to Glen Helen, we're looking at 134.653 miles per hour. That's an outright lap record. Dean Harrison has got the bit between his teeth. He's really on a flyer here. Hickman is just about hanging on to his coattails, but Connor Cummins is now 3.2 seconds ahead of in 4th place. Number 6, Michael Dunlop, and a further 14.6 back in 5th is the Norton of Josh Brooks, number 11. Let's go to Ramsey Hairpin and Roy Moore.
We'll be able to hear them very, very shortly indeed. The marshals stir here. Not too many spectators at Ramsey Hairpin now. 1 or 2 on the road going up towards Waterworks, but with the box being kind of blocking the view, not too many behind us, but certainly they will be hearing, and we can hear the helicopter in the background as Connor Cummins, through his hometown of Ramsey, sweeps out of Stella Maris. Many, many trips over the mountain for Connor over the years, not only on a very, very fast motorbike, but just in general, and knows every inch of this 37 3/4 mountain course and is safely through. But Dean Harrison should be the next machine interview here at Ramsey, absolutely on timing, and certainly 23, so he's put another 6 seconds between himself and Connor Cummins. Won't be too long before they will be seeing one another, or Dean Harrison will be seeing Connor Cummins possibly on the trip up the mountain mile, but they certainly will be into the sunshine from Ramsey Hairpin up through the Waterworks, and then Tower Bends, and then sweeping it in to the Gooseneck, and then the big climb then right up through to the mountain box. But certainly at Ramsey, it's Dean Harrison, number 5, who leads Connor Cummins by 23 seconds, but totally incidental because we're waiting for the arrival first of Michael Dunlop, and this is him here now. He's dropped to 4 seconds behind Connor Cummins, so a further second on the run from Ballaugh Bridge here to Ramsey. The bike sounds good. He's riding exactly the same as he normally does, but it's Peter Hickman we're looking for, and there's been a second taken off the lead of Dean Harrison on the run from Ballaugh, because sweeping out of Stella Maris comes Peter Hickman, tight down to the inside. Those big yellow Dunlop stickers on the back indicating what the tyre choice is. 4.5 seconds is the lead that Dean Harrison has at Ramsey Hairpin on lap number 2 as they head for fuel over number 10, Peter Hickman. Peter Hickman in turn has a 19-second advantage over in 3rd place, number 1, Connor Cummins. I don't think Gary Johnson is going to make any inroads into that. No, he's certainly not. He's holding on to 5th place, but at 3rd it's Connor Cummins, 19 seconds down on Peter Hickman. 4th for number 6, Michael Dunlop, now 4.5 seconds down on Connor Cummins, and then 5th for number 7, Gary Johnson. But the Norton should be here. We'll give you a good indication of that by the sound that we hear, and we'll let you listen to it going away from Ramsey Hairpin. Josh Brooks up to 5th, 17 seconds down on Michael Dunlop. And up towards the Waterworks he goes, so it's only Michael Rutter now who's due here at Ramsey, number 3, Michael Rutter, to see what the time difference will be to him. He's gone through. Pat O'Hanlon tells me that he's gone through, while we were concentrating on where Josh Brooks was, holding on to 5th place. Number 11, Josh Brooks. 17, Ian Hutchinson goes through. Josh Brooks 17 seconds down on Michael Dunlop, but holding a 10-second advantage over in 6th place. Number 7, Gary Johnson, who in turn is 14 seconds ahead off Martin Jessup, because Martin Jessup is there. That distinctive orange leathers of his have made Ramsey hairpin. 7th place for Martin Jessup, but we've got to look for the progress of Sam West and also Davy Todd, number 80, Davy Todd. Those immaculate Burroughs engineering machines. Another machine, this is Lee Johnston, and he is through, but certainly the two Works Hondas there occupying at Ramsey on lap number 2, 9th and 10th, and certainly it will be from 6th onwards down. It's Gary Johnson refreshing. 10 seconds down on Josh Brooks, 7th for number 12, Martin Jessup, 14 seconds down on Gary Johnson. In 8th place, it's Michael Rutter. Martin Jessup, Michael Rutter in 8th place. He's 4 seconds down on Martin Jessup. 9th for number 13, Lee Johnson. He's 6 seconds down on Michael Rutter. Jamie Coward is in amongst the Works machinery because he splits them. It's 10th place for number 16, Jamie Coward. 3.2 seconds down there. 3.2 seconds down on thing. Philip Crow would be the next one to go on that. He's half a second down by the look of it. Philip Crow half a second down on Lee Johnston, holding on to 11th place. 12th for number 16, Jamie Coward. 2 seconds down on Philip Crow, and 13th now for number 4, Ian Hutchinson. 54 seconds down on Jamie Coward. Up the mountain they go. Dean Harrison is through the bungalow. He's 23 seconds ahead, so he's pulled 4 seconds from Ramsey here to the bungalow on Connor Cummins, but it's all eyes on Peter Hickman. 4.5 seconds it was. Peter Hickman goes through the bungalow. It's only 2.5 seconds. Number 5, Dean Harrison leads on lap number 2 at the bungalow by Peter Hickman in 2nd place, 2.5 seconds down. Connor Cummins 21 seconds down on Peter Hickman. Michael Dunlop in 4th place, 5 seconds down on Connor Cummins. Back to the grandstand.
Book now for TT 2019 with IOM TT Travel, an official travel partner of the TT races. With the biggest range of accommodation options, there's something for everyone, from superb campsites with great atmosphere to classy glamping and top-of-the-range hotels. IOM TT Travel will make planning for TT 2019 a pleasure. You can also book coach tours around the TT course, motorcycle hire, and tickets for events and activities. Visit iomtt.com or pop into the travel shop at the rear of the main grandstand today.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Quickest through the Sulby speed trap is Peter Hickman at 195.1. More retirements, Derek McGee at the grandstand. Sean Anderson also at the pits, and Derek Shields we've told you about. And now confirmed retirement up at Lamfell for Dave Madston Migdal. But let's look at Cronknamona. Dean Harrison, light is on for 5 and 1. Connor Cummins, 25.4. The gap between them. Connor Cummins currently in 3rd position, and he's 5.7 seconds ahead of number 6, Michael Dunlop, at the bungalow. But that gap, Dean Harrison and Peter Hickman, has come down from roughly 4.5 to 2.6 at the bungalow. So what's it going to be here at Cronknamona and then here at the grandstand as the klaxon sounds? They'll be coming into the pits on this occasion, of course, for refueling. And there is Connor Cummins, 132.361 for Connor Cummins. And next interview, it should be Dean Harrison. We'll hand it down to Chris Kinley. Here's Dino. Should we just see his time first? Dean Harrison, 133.704. Chris Kinley.
Connor's in and Dean's in. The gap at Cronknamona between Dean Harrison and Peter Hickman is 2.298. Connor Cummins 23.151 back in 3rd, and Michael Dunlop at the moment dropping back 7 seconds back, and Michael Rutter's just through there now as well. So we have 2 bikes in, the number 5 bike of Harrison and the number 1 bike, the Padgett's bike, conversely right at the bottom of the pit because they normally were at the top, but they've moved this year. New rear tyre going in for both riders, and of course it's change of visor too. The fuel goes in, the screen's clean to get all those flies off. I don't think it's going to be that many today. The klaxon goes one more time behind us. You can hear that bouncing in. That could be the number 6 machine of Michael Dunlop. It is Michael Dunlop into the stop box. I wonder if they're going to make any changes to that. You can hear the Paget's Honda of Connor just firing up there now. The rear stand is out and Connor's away, and down the road Michael Dunlop 7.6 back. 7.6 back off Connor Cummins as he came to the pits. Here's Hickey. Hickman is in, and what's the gap as he came across? 1.419. Dean Harrison into the pits leads number 10, Peter Hickman, by 1.419. Connor Cummins in third, the number 1 by 23.721 back. And Michael Dunlop is in. A lot of the Tyco boys around the bike there. Can't see all the way up to the top of the arc. It's really weird. They've all kind of moved down to the bottom part here. And here's the golden black machine of number 3, Michael Rutter at the moment, holding on to a top 10 position, but Hickman is in. New rear tie going in. They're just putting the little clip in now. The spindle just going into its position. You'll probably hear the rattle. They've not used the ratchet. They've just used like a big T-bar just to tighten that up. And here's number 6. Here's Dunlop. Good pit stop by the guys. Gary Johnson just in as well. Hickman possibly losing a little bit of time in now. The Smiths team is waiting. Oh, wow. I tell you what, they only just got the fuel cap in there as Peter Hickman left, so he wanted to get going. So the gap into the pits was 1.419 from Harrison to Hickman. Great performances by Sam West so far, and I think we've just got the number 11 bike of Josh Brooks. He's in 5th at the moment, and he's only, well, he's 21 seconds back of Michael Dunlop there, 21.476. Here's Rutter about to go on the number 3. So we've got number 7 and number 11 in at the moment. Tim O'Hanlon.
Well, Harrison had a 0.9 second advantage over in the pit stops, so that would give him a lead of about 2.3 after the pit stops. But Michael Dunlop was quickest at 56.2, and Connor again slow 1 minute and 4 seconds. Up to you, Tim.
Thank you. Yes, just to confirm those. Dunlop 56.298 seconds, Harrison 56.327, Rutter 56.824 seconds, Hickman a much better pit stop at 57.212 seconds. Boy, was he in a hurry to get out of the pits here almost as soon as the cap filler went in. We've also got Connor, yes, 1 minute 4.07 seconds there. So yeah, Connor 4 minutes 4 seconds, sorry, 1 minute 4.07 seconds, and Johnson 58.624. So Dunlop quickest, but only marginally ahead of Harrison. So as they came in, Dean Harrison, number 13, Lee Johnston, yep, just spotted down there is a retirement. Just looking down at the Honda technical official, Ian Murphy's over, and yep, Lee Johnston is off the bike. So Dean Harrison, a lap of 133.704 miles per hour coming into the pits, 1.4 advantage over number 10, Peter Hickman. Connor Cummins is in 3rd, number 1, and a man who's going very well is number 27. He's in 6th. Let's go down to Chris for Sam West. What a performance.
Yeah, and he's only 9.667 behind Josh Brooks on the Norton. Sam West, Gary Johnson in 7th, number 7, and it's 12 Jessup, 18 Crow, 3 Rutter, 16 Coward, and 4 Hutchinson, of course, losing Lee Johnson, unfortunately, and then a great performance again by a young man who's starting to come up in the rankings here at the Isle of Man TT course. And of course the other row racers had a pretty good Northwest 200. The chain just going onto the rear sprocket, the gold chain onto the back there now. We just see number 16 going out there now. JB Coward away on the Pens 13 bike. The rear spindle is in for the BMW of Sam West. It's in, yeah, locked it in. Click, there we go, it's clicked in, and a little what's it called, a little torque wrench went on as well to get it in to make sure the right torque setting on that now. Happy days, good pit stop by the... Oh, just stalled it there, Sam, a little bit of time lost. So yeah, just a little excited there. He's going to have number 18, Big Phil Crow for company, Tim Glover.
Let's go to Glen Helen and Dave Christian.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Ripple of excitement goes down the wall as the first 2 bikes come out of Glen Helen 2. It's Connor still leading on the road, but Dean Harrison will have him in his sights. Dean Harrison and Connor Cummins together on the road. Connor just got the slight lead, but Dean Harrison won't be too long before he can tuck in behind him and get a little bit of a draft that'll just drag him past when he gets a suitable time. But they're together on the road. Massive gap between them on corrected time, obviously, with Dean starting some 40 seconds behind Connor, and the gap is 38.5 on corrected time. So just 2.5 seconds to make up that full distance. So it is Dean Harrison, Connor Cummins together on the road. We await the arrival of number 6, Michael Dunlop. Shouldn't be too far away. And something does come out at Glen Helen too, but is this Dunlop? Yes, it is. But he is still behind Connor on adjusted time. Peter Hickman isn't. Peter Hickman there as well. He's catching Michael Dunlop on the road. And the lead is Dean Harrison, number 5, leads Peter Hickman, number 10, by 5 seconds at Glen Helen on lap 3. In third place, number 1, Connor Cummins. He's 34 seconds behind Peter Hickman. And in fourth place, number 6, Michael Dunlop. He is half a second down on Cummins. So it's 0.543. Michael Dunlop just off the podium by half a second. And we await the arrival now. I think Michael Rutter and Gary Johnson should be the next 2 on the road. Josh Brooks will drop into 5th place, assuming he keeps his speed maintained. Here is Michael Rutter, knee out, tight line on exit, absolutely inch perfect. Rutter currently holding 5th place, but that's pending the arrival of Josh Brooks. Gary Johnson through, number 7. And Gary Johnson moves into that 5th place, but it is the number 11, the Norton of Josh Brooks, that will make the difference here. He was in 5th place on the entry to the pit lane. He was just 21 seconds behind Michael Dunlop, and here's the noise. Brooks gets on the drive indeed, and in 5th place, Josh Brooks. He takes that 5th place. Number 11, Josh Brooks, 27 seconds down on 4th place, Michael Dunlop. Gary Johnson currently occupies 6th place, but Sam West, number 27, will have something to say about that. Sam West was in 6th place on entry into pit lane and had a 7-second advantage over Gary Johnson. Davey Todd, the newcomer, he was also into the pits in 8th place. He was just tucked in behind Gary Johnson to round off a great week for him. Looking at those times and the advantages and the gains on the leaderboard, number 27, Sam West, started 21st at Glen Helen on lap 2. He was up to 6th. Davey Todd started 22nd. He was up to 8th. Great ride from Brian McCormack, 24th to 13th. Here's Hutchie and Martin Jessup, both safely through here on their 3rd lap, but not breaking into that top end of the leaderboard. Brian McCormack was looking at number 32, 24th starting position up to 13th. Dominic Herbertson, great ride from him, started, he's on number 29, he started in 28th place, he's made it up to 15th. Craig Neve on 33, Craig Neve started in 38th place, he was up to 17th, and I can see at the entrance to pit lane he's actually 16th. So Craig Neve, great ride from him. And Manx Grand Prix men, Barry Lee Evans, number 45. He started 43rd place up to 24th. And another Manx Grand Prix man, number 46, Andy Dudgeon. That's 16, Jamie Coward goes through. Andy Dudgeon, I was looking at, started in 44th and had climbed up to 19th place at Glen Helen on lap 2. Still has that 19th place and the entry into pit lane. We'll take one more bike through before we summarise. It is Sam West, as luck would have it. Sam West takes 7th place. Gary Johnson just gone ahead of him in the pits. But at the top of the race, Harrison leads Hickman by 5, with Cummins 3rd, just 34 seconds behind. And Michael Dunlop hot on their heels, just half a second behind Cummins. Back to you at the grandstand.
Wherever you live in the world, IOM TT Travel can book everything for the perfect trip to the TT or Classic TT races, and all it takes is a deposit to secure. You can choose from the biggest range of campsites, glamping and hotels at iomtt.com, and we have great inclusive packages for all budgets. Check us out at the travel shop at the rear of the main grandstand, speak to our expert travel advisors today, and you could walk away with TT2019 all sorted.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
Well, we certainly noticed that bikes generally were 5, 6, 7 seconds slower than we'd expect between Glen Helen and Balaf Bridge in that sector. We can confirm from race control that there are waved yellows at Bagarrow due to oil. Some more retirements to tell you about. Number 41, Jim Hodson, retired at the pits, as did number 13, Lee Johnston, and number 40, Mark Parrott. Daniel Cooper has stopped. He's now retired, we're being told, at the pits. So had a little bit of a problem out on the far side, but is back here in the pits. So at Balaf Bridge, it's Dean Harrison by 5.492 seconds ahead of number 10, Peter Hickman. Hickman is 35.2 seconds ahead of number 1, Connor Cummins, who is 4.4 seconds ahead of number 6, Michael Dunlop. Brooks in 5th on the Norton. Let's go to Ramsey Hairpin, Roy Moore.
Yeah, we can hear the machine in the Ramsey area, and certainly now it should be Dean Harrison leading on the roads here at Ramsey Hairpin on lap number 3. Will that be the case? Not as yet broke the beam, but he has now, and Connor Cummins must be right behind him, but those 40 seconds down at the moment. Yes, here they are on the road. It's Dean Harrison who leads. Back end goes light and certainly patters away a little bit, but certainly Connor Cummins will get a good view of that as they head away towards the waterworks. So 40 seconds, so 5 seconds. Is that an indication that Dean Harrison, I would imagine the top of the Garrow is the last place you'd want to have an oil flag there. Certainly the TV footage being put out by Greenlight has got some absolutely fantastic views of Bagarrow, not only at the top but down at the bottom there where they hit that bump. Just time to say from Dave Clark, the sector marshal here at Sector 8, just a sincere thanks to all the marshals for all that they've done over the past fortnight. It really is appreciated. We always get that in every year, I would suggest, and certainly that is the case. Another machine in the Ramsey area now. We can hear it coming up through Mayhill into the white gates. The left-hander just slackens off a little bit. This could be Peter Hickman. And what is the difference? Well, somebody's gone through the flags quicker than others, because down to 8 seconds the gap now between in the lead number 5, Dean Harrison, and that of number 10, Peter Hickman, in second place. 8.2 seconds is the confirmed margin at Ramsey Hairpin on lap number 3. So it is pretty scary, really, the difference there. We noticed that Michael Dunlop lost time on the run from Balaf Bridge, from Glen Helen to Balaf as well. And certainly, if that's indicated, well, that's where it will be. Waved yellows at Bagarrow, so for oil on the circuit. So at Ramsey Hairpin on lap number 3, it's Dean Harrison, number 5, who leads number 10, Peter Hickman, by 8.2 seconds. So a 3-second advantage there being gained by the race leader, Dean Harrison, on the run from Balaf Bridge here to Ramsey Hairpin. Third place for number 1, Connor Cummins. He's 32 seconds down on Peter Hickman, but now up to 10 seconds ahead of in 4th place, number 6, Michael Dunlop. Michael Dunlop in turn is 50 seconds ahead of in 5th place, number 7, Gary Johnson, and that should be him here now. It is, with Michael Rutter right behind him. So that difference there will be the starting difference. So 41 seconds. Michael Rutter is down on Gary Johnson, but we're waiting for Josh Brooks, who in theory, if things are going from as they were at Balaf, should move up into 5th place here at Ramsey. Number 11, Josh Brooks, is here at Ramsey, and that is the case. 30 seconds, so a further 2 seconds lost on Michael Dunlop on the run from Balaf Bridge to Ramsey Hairpin, but Michael Dunlop losing a bit of time as well, but that is the case. 5th, number 11, Josh Brooks, 30 seconds down on Michael Dunlop. In 6th place, it's number 7, Gary Johnson, 20 seconds down on Josh Brooks, and then in 7th place, number 3, Michael Rutter, 41 seconds down on Gary Johnson as it all unfolds. And certainly if you wanted to know who the advertisers or the sponsors of the race are, then Ramsey Hairpin will tell you, because we have Poker Stars here, there and everywhere. On the exit, on the little bank on the right-hand side, which has been there since 1911 when they first competed round the 37 3/4 mountain course, and certainly a prominent banner right on the centre there off the apex of the corner, which again has seen every TT race in its history. Looks like coming into Ramsey now. It is, yep, Martin Jessup 8th place for him, I think it is. Well, 7th place for him. I think he's ahead of Michael Rutter, but that will be taken over by the arrival of Sam West. Number 27, Sam West, is getting amongst it. Ian Hutchinson is here now, and certainly in through Ramsey, and the Honda's still going on that particular occasion, but he's 1 minute and 25 down on Michael Rutter. But when Sam West arrived, that should be the case on that. Just checking it out to make sure. Yep, Sam West went through Belaf Bridge, was holding on to that 7th place, 25 seconds ahead of Martin Jessup, but only 2 seconds behind Gary Johnson. So a battle there for 5th and 6th going on. Next machine interview should be that of number 16, Jamie Coward. And that is the case as he comes in towards us here now on the BMW. And Sam West, yes, he has moved up to 6th. Sam West is 6th, 27. Here he is at Ramsey. He's holding on to 6th place, 18 seconds down on Josh Brooks, but only 2 seconds ahead of Gary Johnson in 7th. As we move over to the bungalow now to see who's made the mountain climb, it is Dean Harrison, number 5, who holds a 6.5 second advantage. So Peter Hickman, getting back into the swing of it, has pulled a couple of seconds on the run from Ramsey Hairpin here to the bungalow. He's only 6.2 seconds down now on Dean Harrison. It was 8.2 here at the Ramsey Hairpin, but at the bungalow, that's down to 6.2. Connor Cummins safely through the bungalow, number 1, 34 seconds down on Peter Hickman, but now 11 seconds ahead off in 4th place through the bungalow, number 6, Michael Dunlop. So it's all changing on the run round the west side of the circuit, and certainly that is the case. We haven't had anybody else through. Davey Todd up to 12th here at Ramsey, 4 seconds down on Michael Rutter. Back to the grandstand.
Yeah, I can tell you that lights on for 5 and 1. Dean Harrison, Connor Cummins has had a tow from Dean Harrison right over the mountain. That might make him just come in a little closer to Peter Hickman. We don't know. Saddle Road to Braddon Bridge. It's the road between Braddon Bridge to the Newcastletown Road is blocked with traffic. Please avoid the area is the advice we're getting. Up at the bungalow, Hickman is 6.2 down on Dean Harrison, and he has got a 34.359 second advantage over number 1, Connor Cummins. So it's Harrison and Hickman, and 10.9 is the margin of comfort that Cummins has over 4th place number 6, Michael Dunlop. Also at the bungalow are 11, 7 and 3. That's Brooks, Johnson and Rutter. But we're going to see Harrison. There he is, and Connor trying to stay with him as they cross the line now. And of course the lap times and speeds will reflect the pit stop at the end of lap 2. So at the end of lap 3, 126.678 miles per hour for Dean Harrison, our race leader, ahead of Connor Cummins. Cummins 124.775, a gap of 41.488. It's been just around the 40 point something mark over the mountain. So Harrison trying to make the break from Connor. Connor desperately trying to hang on to the slipstream of Harrison to improve his times, but just looked to be a little bit more of a significant gap as they went down Glen Crutchley Road and passed us here on the grandstand. So Peter Hickman should be coming into view along with Michael Dunlop. There's Hickman, and we await Dunlop to come through. The gap just come down 5.8. And there is Dunlop, and Dunlop 13.6 down on 3rd place. Connor Cummins, Michael Dunlop in 4th place. They're the only riders through the grandstand, and the light on for number 7, Gary Johnson, and number 3, Michael Rutter now at Cronknamona. But just about to say there are no other riders at Cronknamona than the 4 that have gone through here at the grandstand. But that's just changed, but it'll take them 55 a minute or so to get back here. Connor Cummins then 124.775. Peter Hickman 126.160. 5.817 seconds down on the leader, number 5, Dean Harrison on that Silicone Engineering Kawasaki. 17 minutes 52.232 seconds. That's 126.678 miles per hour. And Michael Dunlop 13.6 back on Cummins. Michael at 124.095. Davy Todd is 128.379. And Gary Johnson is through. Michael Rutter now through as well. But we've got to wait for Josh Brooks to come onto the leaderboard. Sam West as well, and Davy Todd to give you the definitive leaderboard. There's the Norton. And Josh Brooks is into 5th place. Number 11 on the Norton, 122.589. Remember, does include the pit time on the pit stop at the end of lap 2. 34.9 back is Brooks on Michael Dunlop, who is in 4th. Number 7, Gary Johnson, currently is in 6th, and 7th is number 3, Michael Rutter. But that may well change very soon as we look to see where Sam West slots in, and also the newcomer Davy Todd. His best lap, as I say, 128.379. Other Manx riders, 122.085, 35th overall for Michael Evans. Andrew Dudgeon, 19th overall at 125.125, and Matt Milcreast, 116.23 miles per hour. Number 73 is his best performance so far. Martin Jessup will be coming into view very shortly. There he is. Jessup nudges ahead of Michael Rutter, and he's currently into 7th position. But let's go back to Cronknamona, where Sam West, number 27, is through. The light on for him, and it shows that he's 2 seconds ahead of Gary Johnson and still holding on to 6th position. A terrific performance there from Sam West. We wait for him to come through, but Ian Hutchinson should be next here at the grandstand. There he is. Let's go to Glen Helen and Dave Christian.
Just in time, Tim. Dean Harrison comes through. Connor's just behind him, but he's caught up with a slower move. That looked like 73. Matt Milcreast in there. And just up ahead of Dean and Connor is also number 77, Mike Norbury. So a little bit of traffic for them. Looks like Dino's managed to slip past them, but Connor had to tuck in behind just to get round the corner here at Glen Helen. That's some more traffic. That's 57 for Brice Migway. And again, the guys will have to negotiate this on their run out. And, well, hopefully they'll get through without any major hold-ups. And as we await the arrival of the next man on the road, which should be, I think, Peter Hickman. And a fast-moving machine does sound like it's approaching. There's a bit of a stir in the crowd on the left-hand side. A machine flashes out of Glen Helen 2. It is number 10, Peter Hickman. And he's still going. He's still on it. It's Peter Hickman through 5.5 seconds. The lead that Dean Harrison has. It was 5.8 at the grandstand, 5.4 here. As Michael Dunlop swings through. He's clearly having problems of some sort this afternoon because he's not quite on the pace. Dunlop was 4th place as they passed through Glen Crutchery Road, 13 seconds behind Connor Cummins. He still holds 4th place, but that 13 seconds has become almost 16. So Harrison leads Hickman by 5 seconds. In 3rd place, number 1, Connor Cummins, 38 seconds down on Hickman. In 4th place, number 6, Michael Dunlop. He is 16 seconds behind Connor Cummins. Michael had a healthy gap between him and 5th place Josh Brooks, 35 seconds that gap was. That looks to be increasing as well, so I think these top 4 are just starting to drift away a little bit from the field. But Josh Brooks, 36 seconds. If whatever the problem Michael has, if it gets any worse, Josh Brooks might be eyeing a 4th place for that Norton. And at the grandstand, 27, Sam West, who is really having a cracking ride here this afternoon. He was 23 seconds back on Josh Brooks. That gap looks to be reasonably steady, but of course we do have to pit at the end of this 4th lap, and anything can happen in the pit lane. Next machine into view is number 7, Gary Johnson. Gaz is safely through here on his 4th lap. And up ahead of them, as well as Mike Norbury, there were a couple of others as Michael Rutter comes through. Michael Rutter's safely through. Here's Josh Brooks now. Lovely tight line on the exit. Gets that drive on nice and early. That's number 11, Josh Brooks. 5th place again, 5th place he was at the grandstand. 35 seconds the gap between him and 4th place Michael Dunlop. It's now 38 seconds. So yeah, the top 4 are just drifting away from the remainder of the field, lap by lap, second by second, sector by sector. Up ahead of the leaders, as well as 77 Mike Norbury, we also had 54 Xavier Denis and number 70 Paul Potchy Williams. So even if they do clear Mike Norbury with no issues, there's still got a couple of slower moving bikes just up ahead of them, which are no doubt going to hinder somebody on the lap. It's just hope everyone gets through nice and tidily with the minimum of delay. Times we are watching, well, clearly Sam West and Davey Todd were up on the leaderboard at any stage. Number 32 is Brian McCormick. He started 24th, he was up to 13th. 29, Dominic Herbertson, started 28th, he was up to 14th. Another bike comes through, it's Martin Jessup, number 12. Jessup slots into 7th place on our leaderboard at the moment. 33 was another high climber, Craig Neve. He started 38th. He was up to 16th at Glen Helen on lap 3. Barry Lee Evans started 28th. He gained just 6 places for Barry Lee. 22nd he was in Glen Helen on lap 3. Andy Dudgeon, local man, number 46th, 44th, he climbed to 19th. And Danny Webb just started to appear on the radar, 36th, and he climbed to 20th. And also Paul Jordan, who nearly outbraked himself into the left-hander here, started 50th up to 29th. Dean Harrison, Peter Hickman, Connor Cummins, and Michael Dunlop all at the left bridge now. And Dean Harrison's extended that lead to 6 seconds. Back to you at the grandstand.
IOM TT Travel is an official travel partner of the TT races. As a member of the Travel Trust Association, all bookings with IOM TT Travel are covered by a 100% financial protection guarantee. Whether you're traveling to the TT or Classic TT, make sure you speak to the specialists at IOM TT Travel for an unforgettable trip and great customer service. Log on to iomtt.com or visit the travel shop at the rear of the main grandstand now.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
I can tell you that number 66, Richard Wilson, has retired in the pits. And let's just go to the leaderboard. Dean Harrison is leading by 6 seconds ahead of number 10, Peter Hickman at Belaf Bridge. Connor Cummins a further 41.2 seconds back, and then 21 more seconds back is number 6, Michael Dunlop, as Ian Locker on the Suitor just goes through here at the grandstand. Still that opening lap of a lap time of Peter Hickman, speed I should say, at the speed trap at Sylvie is the fastest at 195.1. But it is Harrison and Hickman are doing battle. I don't think the way with the waved yellows are going to have absolute lap records or anything like that, but a cracking race. Roy Moore, Ramsey Hairpin.
Certainly is, yes, that's the way it is. 5 seconds. Michael Dunlop seems to lose time from Glen Helen to Belaf, but this man doesn't. It's Dean Harrison here at Ramsey on lap number 4. Tight to the outside. There'll be another pit stop at the end of this particular one, and he is Conan. They're just not quite as close as he was the previous time round, but certainly it's number 77. I think he's just having a quick look over. Just goes a little bit wide, but number 77 is safely through, but certainly not hindering anybody up at all. Went fully realised that if the race leaders, the first 2, had passed him, well, then there would be somebody else on the agenda as well, and just quite rightly just moved out here at Ramsey Hairpin. We're just looking for our starting sheets to see who number 77 was, but certainly it hasn't appeared as yet on our programme here, just shuffling a few papers. But disappointment for that, but certainly it's the way things are going. And it looks as though 16 minutes 51.32, it looks as though Dean Harrison really is putting the hammer down. And 16 minutes, it could be under the 17 minutes going up on this particular one. 16 minutes 50 projected. That is the lap timing there. And to Ramsey, 16.51, so only 1 second off lap record pace. That could be interesting. 57, look as though he's going to stop here, but no, he's just having a look roundabout. As that's Xavier Denis, I think it is, 57. It again, we just can't pick up that on that. But with the news from Ramsey, it's Dean Harrison at Ramsey hairpin by now 7 seconds over number 10, Peter Hickman. After all that was going on, Peter Hickman went through, and 7 seconds is the gap between Dean Harrison. So nearly maintained on the run from Ballaugh Bridge here to Ramsey, but certainly with the others there, we can tell you now that number 77 was Mike Norbury, that was just going a little bit wide on that. But going back to the race itself, on lap number 4 at Ramsey hairpin, the leader Dean Harrison, and looks to be on some form of pace as well. So Peter Hickman can't do anything about that, irrespective of whether the waved yellow flags are out at the top of Barrow. Dean Harrison is absolutely flying on the rest of the circuit and has now pulled a 7-second advantage off. In second place, number 10, Peter Hickman, who in turn has pulled a further 2 seconds on the run from Ballaugh Bridge to here to Ramsey on Connor Cummins, who's now 43 seconds down on Peter Hickman. But then Connor Cummins on the run from Ballaugh Bridge to here at Ramsey has maintained that third place, now 23 seconds ahead of Michael Dunlop. I don't think Gary Johnson, who's here now, because we've got to wait for Josh Brooks to come, will make it, because he's 1 minute down on Michael Dunlop, 1 minute and 6 seconds, in fact, down on Michael Dunlop as they go through Ramsey on lap number 4. But it will be altered by the arrival of Josh Brooks, and that is the case because he's holding on to that 5th, and he too a little bit untidy here at Ramsey, but certainly through. Number 11, Josh Brooks, holding on to 5th place, 41 seconds down on Michael Dunlop, but holding a 25-second advantage over Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson, in turn, this should be Michael Rutter, distinctive style of Michael Rutter, yeah. Oh, he's stopping. Michael Rutter stops at Ramsey hairpin. He's just going into the far side, just to check sums. We can't see what is actually getting checked. He's having a look down at the bike, decides that everything's okay, and goes away from Ramsey hairpin. But obviously a problem there for Michael Rutter. He's 1 minute and 14 seconds. It doesn't sound any different as it goes away, but just obviously wanted to check something. We've had quite a few in here. Remember Paul Owens stopping with a snapped handlebar at one occasion. And of course, a couple of years back, we had Cameron Donald, who's now on the reporting team for the television, stop here after he decided that the handling through Schoolhouse Corner wasn't all that good, and retired here at Ramsey hairpin. So it's Dean Harrison from Peter Hickman by 7 seconds. Connor Cummins 43, but increasing his lead over Michael Dunlop. We just get that checked out. Through the bungalow they go, but there has been a change in the timing difference. It's still number 5 through the bungalow, Dean Harrison, but only by 4.5 seconds now. So Peter Hickman is putting the hammer down and taking 2 seconds out of Dean Harrison on the climb to the bungalow. Connor Cummins still 47 seconds down on Hickman though, but the top 2 are absolutely flying. Back to the grandstand.
Book now for TT 2019 with IOM TT Travel, an official travel partner of the TT races. With the biggest range of accommodation options, there's something for everyone, from superb campsites with great atmosphere to classy glamping and top-of-the-range hotels. IOM TT Travel will make planning for TT 2019 a pleasure. You can also book coach tours around the TT course, motorcycle hire, and tickets for events and activities. Visit iomtt.com or pop into the travel shop at the rear of the main grandstand today.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
Well, I'm prepared to eat my words. It might be an absolute lap record. We'll wait and see. He's got to scrub a bit of time off, though, to come into the pits to refuel at the end of this 4th lap. And I can tell you that Dean Harrison is at Cronknamona, and also is Connor Cummins, number 1 and 5. Hickman has set a sector record from Ramsey hairpin to Bungalow on this lap, which is quite astonishing. And the gap at the Bungalow, 4.4 between Harrison and Hickman, and Connor Cummins at 47.3 down, but we should start to see Dean Harrison coming onto Glen Crutchley Road and coming into Gasoline Alley for the final time in this PokerStars Senior TT. But what sort of lap speed are we going to see in time as he comes in? It's nice and controlled there from Dean Harrison. It's 133.871, so we're still outside the senior race record, lap record of last 2 years, in fact, to go as Connor Cummins is in. And let's go down to Chris.
Yeah, the gap, Tim, back to Cronknamona was 3 seconds. So Hickman's got it down to 3 seconds at Cronknamona. Connor Cummins in the pit now. Stops right at the bottom now. Connor is about, it's call it 50 seconds. It's 49.962 and Connor Cummins 54.1. So that's about right back off Dean Harrison. The same format as the last pit stop. New rear tyre going in, getting that screen clean, getting the new visor on. Just knocks the kill switch off and the killing the bike off to the on position so he doesn't lose any time in the pits, because look, we know what the gap is. It's 3.083. Another bike goes through on the completed lap, and here is Hickman. What's the gap now? Oh, it's 1.4 seconds at all the gap is between Dean Harrison and Peter Hickman. Harrison's away. Is Hickman into the pit stop now? 1.402. Tim, what was his lap?
Lap record, is it? Yes, it is. Peter Hickman, 134.456 miles per hour. Astonishing, Chris.
Yeah, the lap time 16 minutes 50.202, 134.46 mile an hour, and that is shown. He has got the gap down to Dean Harrison to 1.4, so this pit stop could be all important for the Smiths team while they chase him down. Connor Cummins is in and out. Michael Dunlop is through Cronknamona and bounces the Tyco bike in past the old stop box and into the Tyco thing, and is 28.246 back off Connor Cummins. So as he come in for the pit stop, go through it again. Dean Harrison 1.402 up on number 10, Peter Hickman. Peter Hickman in turn is 52.738 up on Connor. A little bit of time maybe lost there for Hickey. Take it easy, yep. Off with the limiter he goes. Michael Dunlop into the pit. Gary Johnson. Oh, Hickey's bike did not sound the best leaving us here now, but can tell you Josh Brooks is through, and also Gary Johnson into the pit also. Well, they'll be coming here any moment now, but this pit stop with a 1.4 as they came in across the transponder, this could be a big change. Tim O'Hanlon.
Yeah, Hickman was slower by 3.3 from Harrison, so Harrison is going to go 4.7 lead after the pit stops.
Okay, thank you for that. And there's Michael Dunlop in and out, 4th place for Michael. We probably hear the klaxon go once more there now. So 1.4 up to a little 3 and a bit. We'll find out the correct positions, Tim, when they get to Glen Helen. Tim Glover.
Well, it's obviously a new senior PokerStars Senior TT lap record, but it's also a new, just absolute lap record from Peter Hickman, 134.456 miles per hour, and that is 16 minutes 50.202. 1.4 is near enough 5 seconds following the pits as Gary Johnson is now in, but Cummins is 52.7 down on Hickman, but he is 28.2 ahead of Michael Dunlop as they came into the pits. And Josh Brooks is here, back down to Chris.
Yeah, Gary Johnson also in the number 7 bike, and 11 Josh Brooks on the north. You can just see that thing flying down Glen Crutchley Road, and it all goes quiet as he shuts the throttle, but he's in onto that pit stop. Let's look where he is when he came across the beam. He's 40 seconds back away from Michael Dunlop, and Gary Johnson in that 6th place at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's right. 30.5 seconds back. Martin Jessup and also Michael Rutter are both also through Cronknamona. We should be getting them shortly. And of course, keep an eye out for 27 Sam West. But what a pit stop that was again, and everybody didn't seem to me to be getting over that 60 kilometres. Here's the Royal Air Force regular reserve bike going, the ZX-10, the Kawasaki of Gary, and here's Josh. Oh, just struggled there, maybe lost a little bit of time. Here's Rutter, unscheduled stop obviously at Ramsey Hairpin, and he stops into his pit now. It looks quite leisurely for Michael Rutter, that does, and I think maybe one more bike won't be too far away. Should be Martin Jessup next, Tim.
Yes, just looking at Michael Rutter, he is off the bike and just looking at that front wheel, and Paul Jordan, Parliament Square, has retired. So number 68, Paul Jordan, a retirement at Parliament Square. And there is Martin Jessup in. And Chris, they don't seem happy with Rutter's bike. It's something at the front there.
Yeah, it is. He came in, Michael, and he was just fiddling around with the fronts. Maybe it might be the headstock might have worked loose or something like that, or the little locking nut underneath the headstock might have just come loose. You might just have to tighten that up just a little bit. They'll just lift it up. Brute force will probably get that up there, and hopefully they'll get that sorted. Jessup is in. New rear tyre going in on Martin, but Michael Rutter losing a lot of time here. And this will, if we look at the thing, will knock him down. He wasn't about, let's have a little look, 11th place when they came through Cronknamona. That's going to drop him further and further down. The klaxon goes once more. Glen Helen, lap 5. Dave Christian.
Yes, Dean Harrison just through here, well ahead of when we were expecting him, but he is still flying, is Dean Harrison. He's got Xavier Denis just in front of him, Paul Potchy-Williams ahead of him, those numbers 54 and number 70 respectively. But other than that, he's got a clear run. 77 and 1, Connor being held up again with 77 through just in front of him, Mike Norbury. As it was on the last lap, Connor will have passed Mike Norbury and then pitted, and Norbury's come back in front of him. So Connor will no doubt pick him off on the run down Crunkavody towards the 11th milestone. So Dean Harrison, Connor Cummins, the first two of the leaders through. We're awaiting number 10, Peter Hickman. We'll see what that gap is. Did Hickman lose time in the pits, or has Harrison managed to hold that advantage? It was round about a second, they reckon he dropped. Here's Hickman now, onto the power, and Hickman is second. So Dean Harrison now leads Peter Hickman by 6 seconds at Glen Helen on lap 5. So it was 1.4 seconds on the entry into the pit lane. Peter Hickman conceding about 4 seconds, there and thereabouts, to Dean Harrison during that pit stop at the end of lap 4. 6 seconds the gap. Excuse me, number 57, Fabrice McGuay comes through. It's possible, of course, that some of those higher start numbers may have interfered with the passage of Peter Hickman through if he's had to get past Fabrice McGuay somewhere between the grandstand and Glen Helen. 73 comes through now, Matt Milcrease, but here's a quicker move of bike. It's Michael Dunlop. Dunlop, 4th place. He is 29 seconds. We call it 30, 29.95. That's 30 seconds in anybody's book. Connor Cummins holds a 30-second advantage over number 6, Michael Dunlop. So 3rd place Cummins, 4th place Dunlop with a 30-second gap. Josh Brooks was 40 seconds behind Michael Dunlop at the grandstand. We need the arrival of number 11 here just to see how he fits in, but we think the next man through should be Gary Johnson. The number 7 biker, Gary Johnson, and just behind Gary Johnson, Martin Jessup. But those higher numbers are going to just cause a little bit of difficulty for the leaders. We know that just ahead of Potchy-Williams, I only keep an eye on them in the 2-minute mark for looking when they may interfere with the leaders, but there's a group of 6 bikes circulating together. I spotted Davey Morgan in amongst them all, but they all came past in a little bit of a blur. They are just ahead of Potchy-Williams on the track as well, so potentially a little bit of traffic. Those guys will, of course, have to pit at the end of their lap, and it could well be that they just the leaders just squeeze by them while they're in Gasoline Alley. A couple of names we've been following. Craig Neve, number 33, he was up to 15th. He's going to gain a place now because Michael Rutter appears to have retired in the pits. Andy Dudgeon will also gain a place. He was up to 20th last we've seen as Gary Johnson comes through on his 5th lap. And here's the Norton now. Josh Brooks does drop into 5th place, so your leaderboard down to 6th place. It's Dean Harrison, number 5, leads number 10, Peter Hickman, by 6 seconds at Glen Helen on lap 5. In 3rd place, number 1, Connor Cummins, 54 seconds down on Hickman. In 4th place, number 6, Michael Dunlop, he's 30 seconds down on Cummins. In 5th place, number 11, Josh Brooks, he's 42 seconds down on Dunlop. And in 6th place, Gary Johnson, number 7, he is 35 seconds down on Josh Brooks. Apart from that little gap, that 6-second gap between 1st and 2nd, this field is now starting to get very spread out. But interesting on the entry to the pit lane there, number 27, Sam West, was just 1 second down on 6th place, Gary Johnson. And what a result it would be if Sam West could steal that extra second and steal his way into 6th place. But it's Harrison leads Hickman by 6 seconds, the advantage on lap 5 at Glen Helen. We've got a lap and about a quarter to go. The leader's through Balaf now. That lead is down to 5 seconds. Dean Harrison's lead down to 5 seconds up Balaf. Back to you at the grandstand.
Wherever you live in the world, IOM TT Travel can book everything for the perfect trip to the TT or Classic TT races, and all it takes is a deposit to secure. You can choose from the biggest range of campsites, glamping and hotels at iomtt.com, and we have great inclusive packages for all budgets. Check us out at the travel shop at the rear of the main grandstand, speak to our expert travel advisors today, and you could walk away with TT2019 all sorted.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
Yes, at Ballath Bridge, the gap 5 seconds. Number 4, Ian Hutchinson, and number 3, Michael Rutter, are both retired at the pits. And if you're wondering what the speeds are as they go past us here at the grandstand at full tilt, the two best are Brooks and Hickman at 180.5 miles per hour. So it's Harrison 5 seconds ahead of Hickman at Ballath Bridge. Connor Cummins a further 58 seconds back, and 36 seconds back on Cummins is number 6, Michael Dunlop, in 4th. I can confirm that Sam West, number 27, is 7th at Glen Helen. Gary Johnson is 6th, number 7. Josh Brooks, number 11, in 5th. Martin Jessup is in 8th place. Then it's Philip Crow and Jamie Coward. Let's go to Ramsey Hairpin and Roy Moore.
Yeah, Peter Hickman faster on the climb from Ramsey here to the bungalow, and certainly after taking a second and a portion out on the run to Ballath Bridge from Glen Helen, it'll be interesting to see. Bit concerned about those 7 riders it is now who are circulating together, and let's make it 8 because Dean Harrison will be just getting the rider there, number 70, because Dean Harrison is here. He probably will have him on the run up through to the waterworks, and he hasn't looked behind. The rider in front has not looked behind, so he won't be aware that the race leader, Dean Harrison, is right behind him. No sign yet. Well, we're not expecting that. Connor Cummins dropping a bit of time on that, but Connor now here at Ramsey, 1 minute and 8 seconds down on Dean Harrison, but in that battle for the 3rd place has got well comfortably ahead of Michael Dunlop. Connor through Ramsey Hairpin. Beautiful sounding bike there, burbling away low down, and as soon as he opens it up, so he's got past this runner on the run from there, and it is number 54, so he's through number 54, Xavier Denis. So he's not had the best of weeks. He'd probably be lovely to get a nice finish after the confusion he's had. Very, very quick as Peter Hickman, and down, but gets it anchored up, and it's down to 4. 5 seconds is the gap, so not much change really. Fractions of a second on the run. Peter Hickman, but sound, he's absolutely revving it right out on the way up to the waterworks. So Xavier Denis will be the first of those, but further down the mountain will be that pack of 7 riders. Number 77 is here with us now. That's Mike Norbury, and he's certainly got plenty of mentions, and he does have a quick look behind to make sure. 4.9 is the gap here at Ramsey Hairpin. 5 seconds you would put it down as on the official side of things, really, to be fair. Dean Harrison leads Peter Hickman by 5 seconds here at Ramsey Hairpin. In 3rd place, number 1, Connor Cummins, but he's 1 minute and 3 seconds down on Peter Hickman. But then we look for the next machine to come into view, which should be that of number 6, Michael Dunlop. So a little bit of a problem with him. He's lost a further 2 seconds on the run from Ballath Bridge to Ramsey here on Connor Cummins, but holding on to that 4th place, Michael Dunlop. I don't think it's anything to do with the brakes. The engine sounds good, and I think it's Mike Norbury that was behind him that went through, and certainly that is the case now. So he's overtaken him on the run here from Glen Helen to Ramsey Hairpin, but Dean Harrison still maintaining that lead on the 5th lap here at Ramsey. But now 5 seconds is the gap between him and number 10, Peter Hickman. It was down to 1 second as they pulled in for refuel down there on pit lane, but then going out, it's lost a bit of time by Peter Hickman. Can he make it back with the lap and a half that lap and a quarter he's got to go? All will remain to be seen. This is another machine. This is Matt Mulcreast. So he's got there, number 73. We can tell that by the distinctive Gorilla Racing on the side there. So a man who started his career down at Derby and now progressed through the Manx Grand Prix and riding in the TT. Everybody's ambition and going well, but he will be only on his fourth lap, so he'll be coming in for fuel at the end of this as they will go now onto a flying last lap. How is it going to pan out on that? Well, certainly with 5 seconds only the difference, that's going to be quite entertaining, I can assure you. Nobody else is yet here. We're expecting Josh Brooks to be the next ahead, probably on the road now, of Gary Johnson, number 7, and that will be maintained in the race by it, but no, not quite. Gary Johnson still holds ahead of the Norton into Ramsey at the brilliant sunshine on the apex of the corner. Gary Johnson has a quick look over his left shoulder, and Josh Brooks tucked in behind the bubble on that. It's 38 seconds he's down on Michael Dunlop, but 39 seconds ahead, off in 6th place through Ramsey on lap number 5. Number 7, Gary Johnson. We're still awaiting Philip Crow to come, and obviously Sam West, as we go up to the bungalow and tell you that Dean Harrison has made the mountain climb on lap number 5, as has Connor Cummins through that, and certainly Peter Hickman's there. Peter Hickman now, 3.5 seconds only down. Well, 3 seconds we'll go for. It looked like a 6. It is a 6, so 3.5 seconds that Peter Hickman is down on Dean Harrison. So he's pulled a second on the climb from Ramsey Hairpin here through, up through the waterworks, up through the Tower Bends, the Gooseneck, up to the 26th milestone, then up to Guthrie's, and then up the Mountain Mile, and sweeping it round. Dean Harrison now is still leading, but only by 3.5 seconds over number 10, Peter Hickman. Connor Cummins a further 1 minute and 7 seconds back. Michael Dunlop not as yet at the bungalow as we return to the grandstand.
IOM TT Travel is an official travel partner of the TT races. As a member of the Travel Trust Association, all bookings with IOM TT Travel are covered by 100% financial protection guarantee. Whether you're travelling to the TT or Classic TT, make sure you speak to the specialists at IOM TT Travel for an unforgettable trip and great customer service. Log on to iomtt.com or visit the travel shop at the rear of the main grandstand now.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
Light is on at Cronknamona for number 5, Dean Harrison, and we await it to come on for Connor Cummins, but more importantly for Peter Hickman. He's 3.6 down at the bungalow, and Chris Boyd, he's just making time up hand over fist on the mountain.
Every lap, but this is set to be a thriller. At Glen Helen it was 6.26 seconds. At Balaff Bridge it was 5 seconds flat. At Ramsey Hairpin it was 4.7. At the bungalow it's 3.6. He's coming sector by sector. Is there enough time in the race left for him?
Well, we'll wait and see. Light on for number 1, Connor Cummins, as we wait for Dean Harrison now to come into view here out of Governor's Dip and into our sights now, and crosses the line. This will include, of course, the pit stop at the end of lap 4, 127.590, with that pit stop included as well. And it's 2.5 at Cronknamona. It's 2.5 that Harrison's advantage is over Peter Hickman at Cronknamona. 5 leads 10. So another second or so taken out on the run down the mountain. What are we going to see here at the grandstand as Connor Cummins comes into view now? Across the line goes Connor at 125.142. And we wait, of course, for Peter Hickman to come through here at the grandstand. And he should be into view as 70 comes into pit. There's Hickman! And what is the gap? 1.9. What a final lap we're in for here. It is 1.903 that Dean Harrison's advantage now is over number 10, Peter Hickman. He is on a mission. Number 5, Dean Harrison, though, still leads, but it's under 2 seconds after 5 laps of the Mount TT course. And we've got one more lap to go, and they'll be getting their boards. They're all important boards. It's a flying lap, the first real complete flying lap of the whole race. So what are we going to see as they come across the line here at the grandstand in, 16, 50, 49, 48 minutes time? We'll see. Oh, and Connor Cummins 1 minute 13 down, and he's 43.4 though ahead at Cronknevona of Michael Dunlop. And Chris Boyd, obviously whatever adjustment they made that he was talking of making, and Tycho had mentioned, they've obviously gone the wrong way, or maybe it's just an off day.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? You go with your best judgment. I know on the day it hasn't worked out for Michael Dunlop, but
oh, there was a bit of a wobble as he crossed the line there from Michael Dunlop. A real wobble right on the new tarmac there from Michael Dunlop. He's 44.1 seconds down, and well, I think that just illustrates, Chris Boyd, that although on the charts and on the speeds and lap times he's doing, it appears something's wrong, there's certainly no lack of effort from the man himself.
Total commitment. He's out there doing a job. He's doing what he does. He's very professional. He's obviously still on top. He could still feasibly get a podium if anything happened to any of the front three ahead of him. Obviously, it's all still there to play for.
Certainly is. And let's go back to Cronknevona. Josh Brooks should be coming through very shortly here at the grandstand as well. The light is on for number 11 and also 7 at Cronknevona. Just 4 through as the grandstand. But what a thriller of a last lap we're set for between Dean Harrison and Peter Hickman. Peter Hickman getting his maiden TT victory this week in the Superstock. Harrison is second to add to the lightweight he already had when he took the second of the Supersport races. Who is going to be our Poker Stars Senior TT champion for 2018? We're just about to see Josh Brooks and Gary Johnson come through. We'll take them across the line and then we'll grab a word with Chris Boyd. Here's the Norton. And there's Gary Johnson. So Josh Brooks 36.3 down on Dunlop in 5th, and a 43.5 gap then back to 6th place, number 7 Gary Johnson. Chris Boyd.
Another sector record for Peter Hickman. Cronknevona to the grandstand in 56.394 seconds. That eclipses Michael Dunlop's lap from the Superbike. We need to get ahead of them. Let's get to Glen Helen.
You've only just got ahead of him. Here's a quick moving bike into the sector. It's Dean Harrison on his last lap. Whoa, runs a little bit wide on the exit. A little twitch from the back end, but he holds it in line. He's onto the power and making that climb up towards Sarah's Cottage. He just drifted out a little bit too wide on the left, and there's a camber there that can just drag you down into the Recticel fencing with a little twitchy on the back end, but he's still there and he's still at it. And we just need the arrival of the next man on the road. I think it should be Connor Cummins. There's a little bit of traffic up ahead. He's got Tom Whedon and Julian Tonucci just in front of him, 63 and 56 respectively. And next man is here. I know that's highest start number 2, highest start numbers. And Connor Cummins has got a rolling roadblock. He's got 3 highest start numbers in front of him. 71, Davey Morgan just outbreaks himself into the corner, and 60 through there. Peter Hickman's got the roadblock as well. Peter Hickman comes through in the mid of all those highest start numbers, the last of which 74 George Spence. And the important bit, the gap between leader Dean Harrison, second place Peter Hickman, 1.9 seconds at the grandstand. It's 3.7 at Glen Helen on lap 6. Dean Harrison has a 3.7 second advantage, and he's going to have a massive advantage because there is a lot of traffic in front of Peter Hickman. That's going to be very, very difficult. Depends where he catches it, but there's 5 or 6 bikes in front of them, and Connor just struggling to get through. It was that rolling roadblock, the 5 or 6 bikes that we spotted here in the last lap. Roy spotted them at Ramsey Hairpin as well. They've been in and had their pits done at the end of their lap, but they're now back out and right in front of the race leaders. So Dino managed to sneak his way through. Very fast run from the grandstand out here to Glen Helen, down through Crosby. and Union Mills, Glenvine into Ballacrane. That's all very, very, very fast. And if Dean Harrison picked them up there, he's just going to manage to drift through them right away. But Peter Hickman, Connor Cummins, both having to battle with the traffic. And ahead of Tom Whedon and Julian Tanuti, who are in front of that group, we've got Dave Houston, David Jackson and Barry Ferber as well. So an awful lot of traffic for the leaders to negotiate. Here's Michael Dunlop. Not quite with it this afternoon, but he is still there in 4th place. So it's Harrison leads Hickman. Cummins is 3rd, 1 minute and 18 down as 70 comes through there. Paul Potchy Williams. Connor Cummins in 3rd place, so it could be another podium for the Ramsey Massive to celebrate tonight. 1 minute and 19 seconds. Connor is behind Peter Hickman. In 4th place, number 6, Michael Dunlop. He is 45 seconds down on Cummins. And just the 4th through so far. Next man on the road we think should be Josh Brooks, and Gary Johnson won't be too far away behind him. This isn't the Norton, no, this is a higher start number. That's 54, Xavier Denis. And he is safely through here, but he's got a little bit of work to do after this one just yet. Josh Brooks at the grandstand, number 11, was in 5th place, 36 seconds behind 4th place Michael Dunlop. Gary Johnson, number 7, was in 6th place, 43 down on Brooks. And up into 8th place, pending Sam West, I think, is number 18, Phil Crow. Looking down at some of our higher start numbers that have come good in today's race, Craig Neve, we were following 38th. Glenn Helen on lap 5, he was up to 13th. A great ride from Craig. Andy Dudgeon, local man, started 44th. He was up to 18th, and here's Brooks now on that Norton. He still is. So Josh Brooks safely through here. Gaz Johnson just behind him on the road. And Brooks is indeed holds that 5th place. 36 seconds the gap was at the grandstand between him and 4th place Michael Dunlop, and it is still 36 seconds here at Glen Helen. Gary Johnson as well holding steady, 43 seconds between him and 5th place Brooks at the grandstand. That's now 45 seconds. So Harrison leads Hickman by 3.7 seconds, with Cummins in 3rd, lining himself up for his 2nd podium of the week. 1 minute and 18 seconds back in 3rd place. So we'll have a look at Danny Webb. Danny Webb, number 48. He'd gained almost 20 places. 36th he started. He was up to 17th at Glen Helen on lap 5. And Raul Torres Martinez, number 52, started 42nd. He was up to 20th. Harrison Hickman Cummins all up Balaf Bridge. And number 10, Hickman, his deficit to the leader now up to 6 seconds at Balaf. Back to you at the grandstand.
There's only one place to be in June, the Isle of Man TT races. If you're enjoying TT 2018, do it all again in 2019 with IOM TT Travel. Sailings are available to book now, and there's a huge choice of campsites, glamping options and hotels. Our expert travel advisors will be happy to help you plan the perfect TT 2019. See iomtt.com for more details, or even better, call into the travel shop at the rear of the grandstand and book today.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT Race Commentary is brought to you by RL360.
Manx Radio TT.
Number 43, Bjorn Gunnarsson, involved in an incident at Glentramon, taken by Airmed to Nobles, thought to be, though, just bruising. Number 77, Mike Norbury, off at Keppel Gate, but okay. And number 29, Dominic Herbertson, off at Laurel Bank, but reported as okay. A new sector record from the grandstand to Glen Helen for Dean Harrison, absolutely flying. And so, too, is Peter Hickman. They're both inside or over the 1:35 mark for Glen Helen laps and to Balaf Bridge laps. Let's go to Ramsey Hairpin and Roy Moore.
Yes, recalling the previous laps through Ramsey, and certainly Dean Harrison has made it to Ramsey Hairpin. He's broken the beam down the road and will be here very, very shortly indeed. Absolutely bang on cue. Tucked down, always through, and absolutely on the limit, going round and down, tucked in behind. And now this is who Peter Hickman has got to get through. Number 63 certainly is there. That's Tom Whedon. And behind him, the number that we didn't quite get, but certainly it was number 55. Dave Houston was ahead of them, but it was Julian Tanuti, who has now been overtaken by the race leader, Dean Harrison, here at Ramsey, as we wait for that. And it looks as though Dean Harrison is on an absolute flyer. 16 minutes, 46.47, Ramsey to Ramsey. So whether Peter Hickman has got any reply to that, irrespective of traffic on the circuit, it looks as though Dean Harrison is heading towards an absolute lap record here if the time from Ramsey to Ramsey is to be created. And this is Peter Hickman now. He's just got ahead of Connor Cummins now on the road. Peter Hickman down. It's down to 2 seconds. Dean Harrison, although he's on that flying pace, Peter Hickman has got past Connor Cummins, and it's 2 seconds. Actually, 2 seconds exactly. 2.007 is the difference between number 5 Dean Harrison and number 10 Peter Hickman here at Ramsey. Connor Cummins now sat behind Peter Hickman, but Connor Cummins 1 minute and 30 down on Peter Hickman as 1, 2, 3, 4. Davy Morgan is in amongst that lot as well as they go through, and they've circulated the last to go through there, number 81, and that was Ian Pattinson. Former Manx Grand Prix winner, but certainly they won't be troubling the two race leaders. And number 60 is here with us now. That's Charles Rees Hardesty, and 74, the last to go through, I think that is George Spence. And that certainly is. So Peter Hickman, wherever he took them, and it's 16 minutes 44.58, Peter Hickman, Ramsey to Ramsey. So is Peter Hickman on an absolute lap record as well? Certainly he did it the other day, and through all that traffic now, and probably will have just about a clear trip over the mountain, as will Dean Harrison. We'll have to tell you what the situation is through the bungalow, but at Ramsey Hairpin, there's only 2 seconds in it. Number 5, Dean Harrison, still leads, but only by 2 seconds from number 10, Peter Hickman. Michael Dunlop should be the next machine interview here at Ramsey, but obviously problems for him because he's dropped down to 50 seconds behind Connor Cummins here now, and Michael Dunlop not sweeping out at Ramsey and certainly shaking the back end. There's a bit of a wave to us here at the completion of TT 2018, but he's through, but he's 50 seconds down on Connor Cummins, but holding on to that 4th place. He had a comfortable margin through Balaf Bridge over Josh Brooks of 32 seconds, so looks like another 4th place for Michael Dunlop, but he's got those wins in here as we switch our attention now to that climb up the mountain to the bungalow. And who's going to be first through? Well, first on the road was Dean Harrison through the bungalow, not as yet indicated there, but certainly what a build-up it was to the first race all that time ago. It seems like ages ago. An absolute lap record from a standing start by Dean Harrison last Saturday, and here we are looking for an absolute lap record now. Dean Harrison has made the mountain climb. He's through the bungalow, but we've got to wait for Peter Hickman to go through there to see what the time difference is. This is where all the excitement will be now on that final flying down the mountain up through the highest point of the circuit at Brandywell, and sweep round there down through the 32nd Windy Corner, 33rd Keppelgate, Kate's Cottage, onto the brakes into Craignabar. Not as yet made the mountain climb, Peter Hickman, but still plenty of time for him to do it. Who's it going to be? Machine still going through Ramsey. There's Josh Brooks going through. It's Dean Harrison by 0.8 of a second, but there's a change in the lead. It's Peter Hickman. Peter Hickman leads at the bungalow by 0.8 of a second. Dear me, the excitement got to us there. It's 0.834 that Peter Hickman has the advantage now over in second place. Dean Harrison at the bungalow. So it's going to be all about the charge down the mountain and who's going to be bravest on the brakes into the Craig and then down through. Who's got the spare horses on the motor going down to Brandish, down to Hilbury. We all know Peter Hickman has just set the fastest sector time from Cronknamona to the finish. If he can do it on this lap and maintain that advantage over Dean Harrison, he's going to lift the Poker Stars Senior Trophy for 2018. But through the bungalow, Peter Hickman has taken the lead, number 10, by 0.834 of a second over Dean Harrison, 10 from 5. But what a performance by Connor Cummins. What a great week if he can get that machine to finish as well on the podium. Full credit to him. But we don't want to miss the finish. 0.8 of a second. Hickman leads over Harrison. Back to the grandstand.
Is this one of the greatest senior TTs we've seen ever? It's Peter Hickman at the bungalow by 0.8. We wait for the lights to come on at Cronknamona. We're looking at 135.6. Light on for number 5, Dean Harrison. Peter Hickman has smashed the sector record from Ramsey Hairpin to the bungalow, and also from the lap bridge to Ramsey Hairpin on this lap. So what time are we looking for here? Light on, as I say, for number 5. We wait for, of course, number 10 and 1 to illuminate, to cross the way for us. As there goes Adrian Harrison through at 116.05 out onto his final lap, and David Hewsont is through as well. And, well, we now are going to see Dean Harrison come across the line, but is it going to be for the win? We've got to wait and see. He might have an absolute lap record just for, well, a minute or so, 50 seconds or less than. Here he is. Dean Harrison takes the checkered flag, but is it good enough? 134.918 miles per hour from Dean Harrison. That is an absolute lap record, but we've a feeling that it might be going very shortly and be in the hands of Peter Hickman. Peter Hickman is at Cronknamona, and he's got a 1.9 second advantage. And I think we'll just stick with this and see Hickman across the line before we go down. And we're running at 28, 29, 30 seconds. The margin on the clocks at the start was 50 seconds. So he's got to be here within that 50 seconds. And I think he's coming out of the dip there at Governor's. I think we're going to see something very special at across the line. He goes now, and wow, Peter Hickman, you are the senior Poker Stars champion. You've taken the biggest prize in road racing. You've got the absolute lap record. You're the fastest road racer in the world as well. 135.452 miles per hour. Peter Hickman, the Poker Stars senior TT winner. Let's go down to Chris. Wow, wow, wow.
Unbelievable at Ramsey. Dean Harrison led by 2.2. It was 0.8 at the bungalow. It crept double Cronknamona to 1 and a bit. And he's won in the end, Tim. What was the gap at the end as he crossed the line?
I can tell you it's just over 2 seconds, 2.061.
Thank you very much for that. Dean Harrison just coming in, giving the Silicon team all the information. He's just throwing the gloves into the front. And the number 10 bike coming in to take his second TT win. We'll get down because we don't want to get out of the way of the photographs. Here's Hickman. Win number 2 around the TT Mountain Circuit. Rebecca and all the Smiths team are straight in to see him. 3rd place for Connor Cummins. Another good performance by the big Manx man for getting in. But what a last lap. Let's repeat it. 135.452, and my good mate Noel Johnson from the Ulster Grand Prix. What are we going to see there in August when we get over to there? The Isle of Man is now the fastest road race in the world again, but how long will it hold that title for? Is good lady in getting a good hug, and we'll get in and we'll show him that speed. Sorry Stevie, just to jump past you there. The boys from Dunlop are in as well to give him the hat, and I'll just point to him the speed on the last lap. He just shakes his head. Unbelievable. Let the family and everybody get in. No problem at all. Milky's putting the wristwatch on him too, so that's the second one in the bank now for Peter. How hard did he have to ride that last lap? How hard was it to get past those slower riders that were in front of him as he went through Dave Christian at Glen Helen? And the Poker Stars senior TT winner is now 135.452. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Hickman.
What can I say? Wow, what a tough race. Dean was absolutely on it, you know. Massive credit to him. He was leading basically the whole race, and I just kept losing in the first couple of sectors. I could gain in over the mountain especially, but oh man, so happy for myself, Smiths Racing, everyone, absolutely everyone, you know. What an awesome end to a couple of weeks. It's been up and down as it usually is, and oh wow, just wow, mega.
You broke that record coming in on the pit stop, and then that lap you are now the fastest road racer in the world.
Yeah, unbelievable. You know, the Smiths Racing BMW RR is just working absolutely mega. It's it's a bit difficult through the first couple of sectors, but the last half of the lap especially, it's sweet as a nut, and I just rode it as hard as I could. I knew it was going to come down to the last lap, and the last half of the lap especially, so I was absolutely just on the points everywhere. That's how you got to be.
Ramsey to the bungalow every lap. You were catching Dino up on time. What's your secret through there?
If I told you that, everyone would be doing it.
Brilliant, though, Pete. I mean, he was away looking at the gaps. It was 1.2, 2.3. He was up. At one point, he had a 5.5 second lead. Where did he crawl the time back? What about those slower riders on the last lap?
Yeah, it's tough, you know, and I kind of passed them as cleanly as I could, and you know, I got held up through Kurt Michael, which is a real fast section. It's one of the sections I'm really good at because I'm tall. I can change direction a bit easier than the other guy. I kind of lost out my advantage through there, and I didn't get through them all until Rencullen, and I don't know, I just pulled it out where I could.
You said about the other day about the other one that you got. There wasn't a trophy. You're going to get your hands on the best trophy in the world.
I can't wait.
Don't drop it. Lloyd will have you.
I won't. I'll be all right. I'm good.
PokerStars Senior TT winner, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Hickman. Well done, Pete.
Thank you ever so much, and cheers to the mega crowd. Everyone's waving on that last lap. Last two laps, really. Absolutely brilliant.
Well done, Pete.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well done, mate. Cheers. Thank you very much for that. Let's get into Dean Harrison if we can. Padgett's boys going in to have a quick chat. Mum's here too. Dino, many congratulations. I know it's a second place, 134.918 on the last lap for you. You boys, what a show.
Cheers, well done, mate. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Yeah, no, over the moon, twice had good pace. It's just disappointing on the last lap to get stuck behind so many people, slower riders on the track. It's them, and you've got to give them so much respect to get past as well. I lost 4 seconds from Sulby Bridge to Ramsey, and I lost the race by 2.
I know, well, it tells you a story, doesn't it?
So it's one of them. I'm disappointed that I didn't win, but I'm over the moon that I finished second. Fair play to everyone on the podium, so good day.
First time you on a proper superbike, as you've called it, and you've set the mark. What's the Ulster Grand Prix going to bring in a couple of months' time?
I'm not sure. I don't want to think about it, to be honest.
Enjoy a beer, fit up.
Yeah, definitely.
Dean Harrison, second place, a great TT for you, a win, pushing the speeds, pushing the boundaries. You all are as well, and well, 135 mile an hour for Pete, 134.4 for you. Ends the week off all right. I know you wanted the win. It was there, but.
Yeah, no. I'm over the moon today, so I can't ask much more. It's just, what more could I have done? I had the lead and I got held back, so what do I do? I just don't know what more I could have done, really.
It'll happen to him sometime. It'll happen to you again. No doubt in the future.
No, that's why you've just got to take the rough with this move, and I'm just happy to be here, to be honest. And I'd say thanks to all the crowd waving all the thanks. It means a lot to me.
Well done, Dino.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much. Second place, and Connor's over here. Let's grab a word with the big fella if we can. Connor, congratulations, mate. Another podium on the big bike.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. 2 big bike podiums in a week. That'll do me. You know, it's not just me on the bike. It's Padgett's team as well, and all the sponsors, all my personal sponsors. They've pulled it together, so I'm well happy.
Any problems during the race at all? I mean, you're getting good boards. Did you know where you were? Did you know Michael Dunlop was just behind you at one point?
Yeah, I had fantastic boards. I mean, thanks again to the lads out on the course. They're doing pit boards and spurring me on. All the crowd were giving me waves. All the locals. It was brilliant. So. Yeah, I was getting enough markers around the course, so I knew it was tight, but I just kept my head down. If I'm honest, I got off to a bit of a shaky start. I didn't feel quite as consistent. I was missing apex and stuff, and had to have a bit of a word with myself. But got it together, and we just got my head down and just tried to smooth myself out as best I can. And you know, the end result's a third. So yeah, real happy. Big thanks to Padgett's team and all my personal sponsors again. Thank you.
Looking at lap time, 135.452 for Pete. What's your thought on those sort of speeds, Connor?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't surprised. Or I'm not surprised that the lap record's gone, but you know, everyone's been riding real strong, real solid all week. So yeah, it's no surprise to me.
Connor, congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Connor. Cheers. Thank you very much for that. So there's the top 3 in the PokerStars Senior TT. Mark, thank you very much for doing all the photographs and stuff. It's gone on the Manx Radio TT Facebook page just about now. Back up to you, Tim.
Before you go, Chris, we were
ahead.
talking obviously this morning about what he gave his top 3 in terms of TT races he's ever seen. I have a feeling this one is going to join that list.
I think the footage tonight, Tim, on ITV4 is going to be something to behold. It really, really is. And some of the passes they must have done to get past the slower riders, the backfield riders, whatever you want to call them, they had to make it stick. And you know what? I think it's going to be a belter, Tim, an absolute belter. And look, Rebecca from Smiths and all the team. Rebecca's an absolute tears. And there's Hickman up on the shoulders. Listen to that for a reception. PokerStars Senior TT winner is number 10, Peter Hickman. Tim.
I can also tell you, Chris, that on Twitter there's been congratulations to the Isle of Man TT, very sportingly, from the Ulster Grand Prix, and giving out the dates, of course, in August. So, I mean, this little bit of rivalry between the Isle of Man TT and the Ulster Grand Prix, they could well take it back if they get the weather we've had. It is very much dependent on the weather, but it's good promotion as well for the Ulster Grand Prix, of course.
It certainly is. All the T-shirts going to have to be redone, though, Tim. What are you thinking on that one, eh? Yeah, but great stuff. Really good for Noel and the club. They're on a really good ship there as well, and I can't wait for the Ulster Grand Prix.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris Kinley. So, Peter Hickman, what a performance that was. I'm going to talk once he's finished scribing away next to me very quickly before he goes down to the press conference with Chris Boyd. And how many sector records, Chris, did Peter Hickman take, or have you not got there yet?
Most of them, that's for sure. Absolutely most of them. We can have a quick look and just see if we can pick that up. He certainly has taken everything from Ramsey, I think, apart from potentially Cronkmona to Grandstand, which I think Dean Harrison might have taken, because that just became an absolute belter. We were having a look at the sector times.
Bridge as well, he did on that last lap. Okay. Bridge to Ramsey Hairpin.
We'll have to just put all that together and collate it, but we have already collated the combined sector times, if you like. Grandstand to Glen Helen across the 6 laps, Dean Harrison was 13 seconds faster than Peter Hickman, but then we know on the mountain, up to the bungalow, Peter Hickman 11.5 seconds quicker than Dean. That's where he got it back.
It's an astonishing performance. Peter Hickman then... was a race record, are we saying? Yes, a race record as well by 48.064 seconds. So a new senior TT race record. Let's go through the leaderboard. I can tell you newcomer Davey Todd. We'll have to look back at his laps as well, but I think he's... I don't think I've seen... we'll get Norman to have a look at that, but I don't think he's overtaken Peter Hickman as the fastest newcomer today, but he already has the title as the second fastest newcomer, and that was actually coming into the race today. So that race record, 1 hour, 43 minutes, 8.065 seconds. 18 Phil Crow, will just interrupt this, has come off at Whitegates, has no injuries and is perfectly okay. So glad to settle everybody down with noticing on the timing screens that Phil Crow had gone missing. Come off at Whitegates, but is okay. So Peter Hickman, let's just give you that race record again. 1 hour, 43 minutes, 8.065 seconds. A last lap, an absolute lap record. The fastest lap seen in road racing anywhere in the world. 135.452 miles per hour. And the margin of victory was just 2 seconds between Peter Hickman and number 5, Dean Harrison. Dean Harrison, what a performance he has put in over the past 2 weeks here on the Isle of Man. At times, he's really set this meeting alight and got a very well-deserved TT victory as well to add to his tally. So he's on 2, Hickman's on 2. Dean's last lap, 134.918 miles per hour. And 2.061 seconds behind. They were so far ahead. Connor, what a great couple of podiums it is for Connor on the podium in the RST Superbike TT last Saturday, and now on the podium at the PokerStars Senior TT. Connor on the Honda, last lap of 131.590. And Connor also did put in, I am sure, I'm just madly going through my records here, Connor Cummins did lap it over 132. I did notice on one of the laps. We'll have to just check the record books on that to see if it was his quickest ever lap. I'm not sure that it was. I think he's done 132.5. But a great performance, but he's 1 minute 40.433 seconds behind Dean Harrison, and a last lap, as I say, of 131.590. Fourth, number 6, Michael Dunlop on the Tyco BMW, a last lap of 130.254 miles per hour. He was 54.7 seconds down on Connor Cummins, but he was nearly 24.6 seconds ahead of, in 5th place, Josh Brooks. And what a lap that was on the last lap from number 11. Josh Brooks at 131.745 for Josh Brooks on that last lap, and I'm pretty certain that that is Josh Brooks's quickest ever lap around the TT course. So Josh Brooks then in 5th position. 6th position went to number 7, Gary Johnson. He finished 56.9 seconds down on Brooks, a last lap of 130.057 miles per hour, and he finished in turn 51.5 seconds ahead of, in 7th place, number 12, Martin Jessup. Martin Jessup, a last lap of 130.650, 51.5 seconds, as I say, behind Johnson, but he was 29.3 seconds ahead of, in 8th place, number 16, Jamie Coward on the BMW. Jamie Coward's last lap, 128.877 miles per hour. Coward finished 32.2 seconds ahead of, in 9th place, number 80, Davey Todd, riding for Burrows Engineering. You got to take your hat off to John Burrows, who's really looked after this newcomer, Davey Todd, tried to keep him very level-headed, and he's been prepared as well to let everything come to him rather than go chasing it, which is exactly the right approach. Davey Todd, 127.546 miles per hour on his last lap, and he was 4.3 seconds ahead of, in 10th place. Excellent result for number 32, Brian McCormack. Brian McCormack finished a last lap of 126.627 and was just, as I say, 4.3 down on Davey Todd, the newcomer. So that does mean Davey Todd is in 2nd place. He didn't, as I thought, go higher than the 129.104 that Peter Hickman recorded in 2014. So not only has Peter Hickman won the PokerStars Senior TT, but he remains in the record books as the fastest newcomer of all time as well. He's now the fastest rider of all time around the TT course. Remarkable transformation from 2014 to 2018. But Davey Todd is 2nd now on the all-time list, ahead of, in 3rd place now, Josh Brooks. Davey Todd 128.379, Josh Brooks 127.726 miles per hour. So we've done the top 10. 11th was a great ride again from number 33, Craig Neve, the Jackson Academy rider, 127.404 miles per hour on his last lap. And he was 30.4 seconds down on McCormack, but 35.2 seconds ahead of, in 12th place, number 28, Michael Sweeney. Michael Sweeney's last lap, 128.281 miles per hour. Sweeney finished 11.6 seconds ahead of, in 13th place, number 26, Daley Matheson, 124.927 miles per hour on his last lap, and he finished 8.7 seconds ahead of, in 14th place, number 44, Rob Hodson. Rob Hodson, 126.274 miles per hour on his last lap. 15th, 10 seconds further back, 10.2, was number 48, Danny Webb, 126.643. We'll have to look at the laps 1, 2, 4, and 6, but to my mind, that is quicker than he's ever gone around here before, Danny Webb. So congratulations to him. He was 23.2 seconds ahead of, in 16th position, and a very good result for the local lad, number 46, Andrew Dudgeon, in 16th position, 124.726 miles per hour on his last lap. and he finished 11.7 seconds ahead of him in 17th position, number 30, and that's Stefano Bonetti on the pattern. So well done to Stefano there. 127.070 it was for Bonetti. Now I'm just wondering, with the championship where we are, we'll find out obviously at the prize presentations later on, but be interesting to know who is the Joey Dunlop champion for all those races, because it's that tight now with Hickman getting the 25 points and Michael fourth. Where's the sheets? We'll see if we can work it out live on air. So what do you get for fourth? I'll let you do that, Chris, before you go downstairs. I'll carry on with the start list, the finish order rather. Start list, I wish we did have another start after seeing a race like that. 18th was number 52, Raul Torres Martinez. 13.8 down on Bonetti, a last lap of 124.249. 19th was number 51, Mike Booth on the Kawasaki, 123.311, and he was just 6.8 seconds down on Martinez. 13.1 seconds, though, ahead of in 20th place, number 45, Barry Lee Evans, 124.066 for Evans on his last lap. Ian Locker was in 21st. Unofficially, then, we make it that Michael Dunlop will have 94 points, Peter Hickman 86, Dean Harrison 81, and Connor Cummins 60. That is unofficial, but unofficially we reckon that Michael Dunlop will take the Joey Dunlop trophy. Of course, his uncle. Right, where have we got to? Ian Locker in 21st. Ian Locker's last lap at 124.183. 36.5 seconds behind Evans, but he was 26.7 seconds ahead of in 22nd, number 75, Frank Gallagher, and a whole host of finishing just below here, but we'll carry on with the classified order. Frank Gallagher, a last lap of 124.168. In 23rd position was number 53, Adrian Harrison on the Kawasaki, 11.6 seconds down on Gallagher. 121.806 on the last lap. 24th was number 56, Julian Tonuiti, 30.9 seconds down on Harrison, a last lap of 124.622 miles per hour. In 25th position was number 65, Mark Goodings, 10.5 seconds down on Tonuiti, a last lap of 122.553. There'll be loads of personal bests right the way down the whole length of the field that we've had out here today competing. 26th, good ride again from Michael Evans, the Santon rider, 37 the number, 5.9 down on Goodings and a last lap of 123.553 exactly. It's just a mile per hour quicker than Goodings, but not quite enough to close in and catch and move up to 25th. 27th, number 58, Alan Venter, 0.9 behind Evans. That's a slim margin, isn't it, after 6 laps around the TT course. 122.685 miles per hour on the last lap. 28th is number 59, David Hewson, 2.8 down on Venter, 122.461 miles per hour on the last lap. 29th is number 81, and it's his last ride around the TT course, his last race now, retiring, he says, Ian Pattinson. We heard that interview that Chris Kinley walked for miles to get before the start of the race. Ian Pattinson, 21 seconds down on Hewson, above him, 122.668 miles per hour on the last lap. 30th was number 47, Barry Ferber, 3 seconds down on Pattinson, 120.823 miles per hour on the last lap. And the riders are making their way up. So we'll just give you the ones that we can see up on here so we get them in. Number 71 rather, Davey Morgan was in 31st position. 32nd for number 49, Darren Cooper. 33rd for number 79, David Jackson. 34th for number 55, Eric Wilson. 35th for number 60, Charles Rees Hardesty. And 36th for number 74, George Spence as another machine crosses the line. And that is Xavier Denis, who's had quite a lively time at this year's TT, to say the least, including particularly in pit lane. But I can see the riders making their way up. Dean Harrison already here. Peter Hickman very much the centre of attention, with the camera following him. And, well, what a performance those two have put up. And Connor, tremendous rides that he's put in, and getting a rightly great round of applause from the grandstand, the Manx rider. And, yeah, married, of course, now, and baby on the way too. It's a lovely thing. And Carl Cox playing in his cafe in Ramsey. The life of a rock star now, Connor Cummins. That holds that PokerStars sponsored helmet up as well. PokerStars very much the sponsor of the senior TT as well today. And the garlanding is going to be a gentleman called Guy Templar, who's the Chief Operating Officer at the Stars Group. And we are now ready for the PokerStars Senior TT's podium ceremony. So let's hear the fanfare. And there they are, the gladiators on the top there, after an epic battle around the TT course. So, in third place for the PokerStars Senior TT, an excellent week for the Manxman, his second big bike podium of the week from the Isle of Man on a Honda, Connor Cummins.